Hello and welcome to Wellington, Florida for the second day of qualifying for the Rolex Grand Prix. $62,500 Bainbridge Company's speed class, one round against the clock at 1.50 m, and the top 10 to qualify for Saturday's big showpiece for that US Equestrian Open and the Rolex Grand Prix. Another beautiful day here in Florida, and well, it's a little bit windier than it was yesterday. Sunny and windy, as they put it officially, 79 degrees, 24 miles per hour the winds at this time around, so 10 miles more than yesterday. So a little bit of breeze blowing in. I'm delighted to say myself, Steve Wild and Kim Prince, to analyse what happened yesterday and what's coming up today. Kim, a real battle yesterday in the Challenge Cup qualifier.
That certainly was. They had so many clean, and it was interesting to see the strategy of some people chose not to jump off, and then the ones that went for it. So that was exciting to get the top 30 out of that class for the first qualifier.
Let's take a look at the top three, because in third place was Daniel Coyle of Ireland with his fabulous partner in Legacy that have ridden through to the Olympic Games. An impressive run from Daniel to start off the week.
As usual. I mean, he is just like lightning fast with this horse always. He's clean, he's going, horse is slick.
Daniel Coyle flying in there for Ireland. He's headed in this week to try and lift the trophies for a man who's lifted the Grand Prix here in Wellington before now. A brilliant top three into our qualifier. And Kim, they really had to chase down this final line.
Oh, the final line was really where it was made, because a lot of people had the last jump down, trying to leave the stride out. It was hard to do well.
And then into second place, it was Ken Farrington and Tulane. Now, he really had his eyes focused on this class for the week. The two-time Grand Prix winner already this season, the world number 2, couldn't quite get to the number 1.
It was close, and he held it for a while. He went earlier in the jump-off and was nice and quick, but he had a little bit of space around that water, you can see, where you really had to basically be cantering through the ferns to get that little extra time.
Ken Farrington giving it every good effort. He set the pace at this point, but it was going to be beatable in the end. The winner was Ben Mayer and Point Break. The horse literally flying in, especially for this class.
That was a great story. I didn't know that the horse flew here literally to do this one class and left today, apparently, already. But he was on top form, huh?
Already heads for World Cup finals. He's going to go to his Olympic gold medal winning ride for the Rolex Grand Prix here on Saturday. But for their round, it was just super slick.
Yeah, everything right out of stride and forward. Very close around the ferns here. But I think, honestly, this is where he won it to the last line. Rolex was great, and he rode right up, and he was able to leave the little room so the horse could clear that last jump, but that was very fast at the last.
Brilliant Bodie in action once again, as the horse is known back at the stables. Point Break gets the right points there as well. So Ben Mayer will go last in the Grand Prix come Saturday as well, because those will be the final three.
Exactly.
So he's in prime spot.
He has his other horse tapping in.
His other horse that was an Olympic gold medal winning horse is going to be coming in there. Let's take a look at today. Top 10 to qualify from today as well. And it is a big field today for the speed class. Now, several in here looking to qualify too that didn't quite make it in there. Connor Swale being one of those. Spencer Smith goes early on. He should just make it into qualifying. We'll see. Then further down the order, we see them run into the likes of Germany's Sophie Hinners, Richard Vogel of Germany as well, the world number 1, Henrik von Eckermann, all in the field today too. Daniel Blumen also looking for a qualifying spot, a past winner of the Rolex Grand Prix. Emily Conter, 5-star winner a few weeks ago here, still vying for a spot too. And then further down, Giacomo Casadei of Italy is looking for placings into Saturday, as is Nina Malave on that lineup there too. Down further into the order, and as I say, it's a big order for this Canadian Olympian, Erin Ballard. Nicola Philippart's already home and into that Grand Prix on Saturday, comes back with Derby de Riverland, which might be hard to beat against the clock. Sami Al-Dahan of Great Britain also looking to book his place into the Saturday showpiece, alongside Lily Keenan, looking for a spot today, going to her ride that she took to the World Championships, Gare de Belliard. Rodrigo Pessoa already into Saturday, and how about the rest down here for challenging for today's class as well? Ashley Bond, Nightwish come back into the equation once again. Another past winner of the Rolex Grand Prix. Aaron Vale, Gray's in. He goes to this time around for the prolific winning US rider. And several riders with 2 rides into this class. Giacomo Casadei of Italy once again. Nal Nassar, look closely at him with Ivory TCS. He's picked up a number of classes this season so far. Second ride too for the likes of Emily Conter. And down for Daniel Blumen as well to try and secure his place. Kent Farrington and Greer, interesting to see them jump today. They will be the partnership ahead for the Grand Prix here on Saturday. Ben Mayer also jumps his horse, and he'll jump tomorrow, Dallas Vegas Batty. So they may just keep a little bit in the tank today as well. We'll talk about that in just a second. Michael Duffy looking for his qualifying spot. Dara Kenny, good result again. Brings out a long-time partner in Amsterdam this time, which I would assume is going to be his Grand Prix ride. And down to our final three there, with Harry Charles, Olivier Robert looking to get himself into the frame, and Jordan Coyle, last to go, is going to make it very interesting indeed. So from that lineup there, Kim, as I say, there's quite a few there still trying to get their qualifying place. So it's going to be a mix here in this class of the likes of Greer with Kent Farrington, Ben Mayer with Dallas, that are going to be really just honing their skills for Saturday, and others that are going to be full out, let's go.
Yes, I think the majority are going to be full out, let's go, because this is the last meter 50 of the circuit, WEF 12. And I think that the few that you mentioned will definitely just get in the groove and canter around. The horses are probably better going 2 days in a row. They have a whole plan for that, and they won't be going as fast. But I think the most of the class will be turning and burning. And
it's an interesting class, this, because although it's down as a speed class, it's built up to 1 meter 50. It's a lot of jumping first and foremost.
Yes, it's big. That's the fun part about this class is if you knock a jump down, it's 4 faults. Like, it's not faults converted, so you have to clear the jumps.
This is going to be a class, a lot of pressure on those not already qualified. Top
Yes.
10 here, and so they're going to be deep breath time. We're going to be getting into the action here with Kim and myself throughout this class here this afternoon, and so we're going to be building up to that. We're going to take you around the course set by Guilherme Georges, our course designer here this week as well. That's all coming up after a break, and then we'll be back in with the rundown to today's Bainbridge Speed class, part of our 5-star week here in Wellington, as we lead toward that Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. See you in a minute.
Scan the QR code for access to the live fan guide for the $750,000 Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. Information and stats on every athlete, rider, and horse. Scan the QR code today.
Gravity Defier for life. Iams for life. Also try new Iams Healthy Weight Cat Food.
Cleaning your dog's teeth can be hard. But not with Greenie's dental treats. Greenies, make health a treat. Also, try Greenie's dog food and toppers.
Scan the QR code for access to the live fan guide for the $750,000 Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. Information and stats on every athlete, rider, and horse. Scan the QR code today.
I'm Luciana Lossio, and this is my origin story. I began riding horses when I was 6 years old. My dad used to have a farm, and then I went to a club to take lessons, and that's where it began. I complete all the youngest categories, and then I stopped to go dedicate myself to my work and my studies. And I stayed without riding horses for 15 years. And then I came back with 35 years old. Now I'm 50, so it's been 15 years that I came back to the arena, to the horses, and riding since then. I am a lawyer, and when I was 35 years old, in the same year that I came back riding horses, I was nominated to be a justice in Brazil. I was chosen by the Supreme Court of Brazil and nominated by the president. And then I stay in the court for 6 years. During like February, I go back and forth to Brazil. I travel at Sunday night and come back here to Wellington Wednesday or Thursday night. It depends on my agenda in Brazil. So it's been hard, but I'm happy with that. So I can do the both things. I need to work and I want to ride my horses. Lady Louise, she's a very intelligent mare, a very good heart mare, courage. Everything I ask her, I think we have we combine ourselves. And she trusts me a lot. She's very economic in the jumps because she's very intelligent. She makes the necessary effort to go through the jumps. We've been together like for 7 years. So we kind of know each other a little bit. Our federation sent us to here, to Wellington, to stay for the whole season. So in 2022, it was like a very important year for me because it was a kind of a division, you know? I became here to the international shows, to all this atmosphere that is Wellington with the best riders in the world, the competitions. And then I got successful here, and it was such a nice, unbelievable thing for me. Because when I went to the arena, I saw all the best riders right there. And I was fascinated only to watch them. And since then I was there competing with them. It was my first 5-star. All of a sudden we were there and we made a clear round in the first round. And when I went to the jump off, before me, they had Neo Nassar and Carl Cook, and they were so fast. Lady Louise was fantastic, and everything went perfect, you know, in the course. When I jumped the last one that I saw everywhere, that I was winning, that I would beat the time, all my family and friends, when I got the last line, you know, and I was galloping in the arena, and I was looking and I saw them. There was a fantastic energy because since I ride horses, my parents were always with me. Now I lost my dad, I was really young, and my mom also cannot be here with me anymore, but my friends and my family there, it reminds me the old days that I always had the support, you know, of the ones that I love and that I like. So that was a very magic moment that I told Dad, I'm here, can you believe that? I'm here in the US winning a big show. So that was the most fantastic feeling. It's very special because when you get in the international arena, it's such a magic place. You get in there and I look all the lights, all the people, all the crowd, and it reminds me of very special moments. It's very special, very important, very nice to be here again.
Something like the US Open, it would be incredible to have in your trophy room.
It was typically the hardest Grand Prix of this winter season down here.
Trying to get to the highest level. As long as I don't make a mistake, he can do this very easily. Getting closer, I would like to think, so I'm there to compete.
How about the great here, Spencer Smith for the USA?
Obviously it's a sport, but at the same time, the only reason I do this is because I love horses. Hi, buddy.
He's really been an incredible horse.
Everyone wants to win a Rolex Grand Prix.
I think adding the US Open in a great new initiative, and I think it's only going to bring more excitement and more prestige.
More ground line, please.
First jump is nice.
It's really all leading towards the US Open.
The person that stamps their name on it is going to, kind of go down in history, and we all want to do that.
What to expect out of this afternoon. $62,500 Bainbridge Company's 5-star speed. A one round of competition over 12 fences out of the course designed by Guillaume Georges, our course designer here this week for the finale week of the Winter Equestrian Festival. The best of the best making it into this week, but the key is making it into that Rolex US Equestrian Open Jumping Grand Prix here on Saturday night as well. Yesterday we saw the qualifier with 30 qualifying from that main qualifying class. Still 10 remain to qualify out of this class today. The top 10 out of this class not already qualified will go through to Saturday night as well until we finish up with the 40 that make it into Saturday night's real showpiece here for that Rolex Grand Prix. Big field for this afternoon as well. Over 60 coming forward over the track to vie for the prize money of $62,500 and readying for the run around this course. But it's not going to be a complete run because some big fences on the track here. It is a 1.50 m course, so plenty of jumping in this as well. And as we talked about a little bit earlier on, it is going to be pressure on for a few of those not qualified already into tomorrow yet. Some bigger names in there like Keane O'Connor from the World's Top 20, Connor Swale, the world number 11, top US rider Lee Keenan looking for the qualifying spot, Olivier Robert of France, Margie Engel, Abdul Said, Nina Malave, some of the names that are still to yet get into that top group into Saturday night's Rolex Grand Prix. So the riders just walking the track, that's exactly what they do to plan out where they're going for the course here this afternoon. But it is going to be up in pace, one round taking a spin for the money here. Looking forward to this. The second of the qualifiers for that US Equestrian Open final here on Saturday night. Alongside me is Kim Prince, World Cup finalist, American Gold Cup winner and analyst for this week. Kim, top class jumping yesterday, as we've already talked about. There's even more pressure on today, really.
Yes, people are still really trying to get into the class Saturday night. It's such a great chance to not just one qualifier, but to have two. You know, they used to only have just the WEF was the qualifier.
One and done.
One and done, and that was very sad. So I think it's great that they have a second opportunity, and it's a speed class, fastest clean, and it's big. So I think it's very challenging, but people are going to have to go because a lot's on the line.
Lots on the line and time of 74 seconds around the course. But again, Kim, from that point of view, I think that's going to be less of a factor because they're just going to have to get their boots to the ground as fast as possible here.
100%. I think that this class is going to be very fast. Right off the bat, there's sprinkled all through the order are people trying to get into tomorrow night's class. So I think you'll see a few people going a little bit slower, maybe a little bit easier. But we are going to be peppered with some really quick rounds today, I think. And
also peppered with some of those that are going to be competing, their Grand Prix horses that are going to compete tomorrow night, like Ken Farrington and Greer. He's twice winner in the Grand Prix already this season for the 5-star as well. But then I look down to people like McLean Ward and First Lady that is a superb winner, has been this season already. This really is a class that suits that horse and McLean.
Yes, I think he won this class last week with her.
Yeah.
Yes, he has the great option of a different horse for each day today, this week for the series. So he jumped the one horse yesterday, Callis, and today's First Lady, and then I imagine he'll pull out Elex for tomorrow night. So the joy of that depth is that he gets to go for the win every time he goes in the ring.
Yeah, I'm going for good money here, as to say, this afternoon, $62,500, and is sponsored by Bainbridge. Bainbridge companies with offices all over the country and a terrific sponsor here at Wellington throughout the whole of the Florida circuit, and the nation's premier owners, developers, builders and managers of multifamily real estate. So thank you to them for their continued support of the classes here throughout Florida and across the country as well. Some early combinations going in here, which I'll be very interested to see. One that jumps out at me is Eugenio Garza and Victor Finn. Long-time partnership here that flew around the other day as well, and I think could set a very early pace here.
Yes, and I actually think right off the bat with Spencer Smith going first, he's probably going to absolutely go for it right off the start, and has had great success with this horse this circuit.
Well, let's take a look at the course designed by Guillaume Georges, our course designer here this week, a man who's built right the way through to the Olympic Games in 2016, was lead designer there. Let's take a look at our Fidelity Investments animation of what to expect And here we go, under the bridge. And fence 1 alongside the table bank at the WeatherTech fence to get them into the groove, into the triple bar there. Fence 2, again, a lot more twisting and turning than there was yesterday, and it is a rollback into fence 3 then to the Rolex 150 vertical. 9-10 strides depending on their pace down here into the triple combination at 4 A, B and C, down on to fence 5 that will take them to the vertical after that with the water tray pulled out behind and the teal colours. Roll back again to the Vogel fence, and again it's how tight you take this. Again, less about the time allowed, more about your speed at this point. Then to the US Open fence after that, fence 7, which actually is a vertical to take a slice across there. And then back to 8, going back up the arena to the Bainbridge fence. Then again, they've got a little bit of a curve inside to fence 9, depending on how tight you take this. Probably 6 strides up to fence 10 at 1.52 m. And then a rollback to the double at 11 A and B in the purple colours. And then finally, right across the centre here, long run down here can be a real variation of strides down to that final fence to fence 12, depending on how tight they take that curve. That's what it looks like. It's got twists and turns and plenty to get the blood flowing, and looking forward to how this goes. 74 seconds time allowed. Guilherme Jorge, as I say, is our course designer there. 1.50 m is the height. 12 are the number of fences that are in the course here this afternoon, although more jumping efforts than that. Total of 15 jumping efforts across the whole of the track. And so it's almost time set to go into our big class of the afternoon. And so we're going to say a very quick hello to Ali Wolf. Hello, Ali.
Hey Stephen, hope you're well. I'm just down here, went over the course with a few of the riders, walked the course, definitely set at a solid 1.50 m. Like you said, 12 numbered fences, 15 obstacles. It is a little bit rare that we see a triple combination coming in a speed round, so that might play a factor. Guilherme has really designed the course with a lot of numbers that horses and rider options have the choice of doing, adding, or leaving out. He's also designed it in a way where we have a lot of oxers we see coming off short turns. You know, that requires maybe some speed, not as much tighty turns, but again, it's anyone's game today. We've got a huge field. Some of the best riders in the world are here, and we're excited for this competition.
Yes, we are. It is 6 of the world's top 10, and Ali will be catching up with our riders down there on the sidelines throughout our classes today. And, of course, tomorrow as well, we'll begin the build-up tomorrow, too, into our Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix from 7 o'clock tomorrow. We've got a great lineup of guests there to bring you to preview the big class before we get into it into the evening following. So, lots to come here, as say, over 60 in the first round of this class. The first one just about to make their way down. And addition at the top with Richard Vogel being the first to go, the rider for Germany. Now, he's already in qualifying, but he's going to ride the horse that he intends to ride into the Grand Prix as well, because that's what he told me a little bit earlier on this week, onto our panel show. And he's going to be first off. So I say it's going to be a sprinkling of the Grand Prix horses and a sprinkling of those that are going to be right under pressure to try and qualify. So they're certainly going to have to get their feet to the floor fast around the course here this afternoon. So first one making their way in, and as they all make their way out, we clear the path, we clear the stage, and set to go into this $62,500 Bainbridge Companies class as our starter. Whole wonderful set of fences there. You can see just in the background fence 10, one of the fences from Paris Olympic Games as well. And in fact, it's going to be Harry Charles to go first. It'll change around again. And it is going to be the Olympic gold medalist who's going to be feel very much at home with those French fences out there. And so Harry's going to be starting us off. And Harry, who finished on the podium second, in fact, into the 5-star Grand Prix here a couple of weeks ago, is going to ride Sherlock, that same horse that he rode from that successful run onto the Bainbridge Grand Prix onto week 9 as well. This, I would imagine, Kim, is going to be his ride into the tomorrow's Rolex Grand Prix as well. So I would think this might be a little bit more conservative.
Yeah, a little bit more conservative is exactly probably the tone he's going to take. Great opportunity for them to get the horse they are going to take tomorrow night in. he's just a tool right around here. It's a little bit windier today. Some of the bushes around the jumps will be blowing.
And as Ali was saying, this line, triple combination, it becomes less a speed class, a one-round jumping class. If we're going to pull it to being sort of slightly technical from that point of view, you've got to jump this first.
Yes, and it seems to me that you said that one vertical was already 152, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to only be 150. So they sneak up the jumps when they can. So many good horses here, they have to make it a little bit tricky if it's possible. You can see him really using the entire ring, taking his time.
And I think he might be
withdrawing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought that horse certainly jumped the triple combination
And he
with
just
class.
exactly
Yes.
just wanted to get a few fences behind them, so in readiness for tomorrow. So just essentially just get a bit of a training exercise. And so Harry Charles are first there. And so he will retire.
And you can see he's still in the ring, taking his time.
Little walk across to the water. Have a little look at that. It's going to be in
Exactly.
tomorrow night as well. Connor Swale, world number 11. The Irishman who's been competing over in California so successfully throughout the winter months. This the Cherokee show horse is My Lady La Vista, is the mare by my Lord Cartago for Connor. Connor also on that group of those looking to qualify. So, yes, exactly what I expected. A little bit more pace about this. He's going to come tight to the Rolex fence.
Yes, very, very efficient. 1, 2, 3. Like Ali said, having the triple. It's early in the course, so that's beneficial. The horses aren't as quick, flat.
It's like he got 9 down into that triple combination, which I say you can just cut that a little bit more there.
Little hind rub there, but stayed up. You can see trying to get the foot speed going. It's a long way over to the vertical. The U.S. Open jump. Great shot off the turn. Yeah, just like you said, 6 across the diagonal there. This next combination. Let's see what he did, 10 there. But he had a little stumble as he landed,
Yeah,
so we'll
did.
see if that stride can be taken out by someone who wants to be a bit faster.
65.34 from the first to complete there with Connor Swale and My Lady La Vista. For him, it's all about getting into the top 10 now. He'd love to be winning this class. Whether that's enough, I doubt. But he would like to get into that top 10 for being a part of tomorrow night as well. That might be the same ride he was saying to me earlier on this week into the Grand Prix. So Connor Swale lays down a good time for the rest, 65.34. And Eugenio Garza now of Mexico, the Mexican Olympian with the El Milagros, Victor Finn, a long-time partner of this 17-year-old horse, and were winners here just a couple of weeks ago. And I think this pair as well can skate around here in a good pace.
Well, already.
There we go. Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's a chance you have to take in this class. It was a great shot. If he cleared it, he would have been a hero for sure. This is quite steady to this water tray on the backside. And he's keeping the pedal down here.
Can take a good slice at the US Open fence. And again, as Ali was saying, you get tight to some of these oxers. You've really got to have enough punch off the ground to get across them.
Yes, front rail there also at the Southern Arches. And now I think he's going to retire as well.
Yeah, 2 down, deciding that it's not going to be for Eugenio Garza and Victor Finn. He was another looking for a qualifying spot there.
Yeah, he knew with that second rail, with as strong a field behind him, that was not going to happen with 8 faults.
No. I think his sole ride in this class as well. Some of the riders do have 2 shots in this class too. But Eugenio, that will put him out of qualifying, it would look like, at this stage with Victor Finn. Of course, from his round yesterday, that's what I'm taking into account here with his ride on Cartago. Now to Italy. Several of the Italian team that were in Ocala last week making their way down here to Wellington. Pier Giorgio Bucci, and this is going to be Garfield de la Sens. Winner in the Madrid World Cup last year. He's a European medalist, consistent performer at the top 5-star level, well established there.
There's no real sense in running at number 1 because it's a bit of a set distance 1 to 2. Square oxer. Don't get their eye on it till the last minute. And a little bit wide to be extra careful coming into the triple. Again, not quite as fast getting away from the Vogel jump.
Pier Giorgio in the qualifying yesterday finished in 17th place in the end, so he made it into the Grand Prix.
Yeah, so, you know, he's taking a little bit more conservative route and putting in a clean because you do have to jump clean in this class. Finishes nicely over the last.
Yeah, going to take him to a time of 70.38 there for Pier Giorgio Bucci, and very, very early stages going into second place. And I think they'll be somewhat further down the order because there's a 5-second gap to he and Connor Swale so far. And I'm not sure Connor Swale will be our winner either based on the quality of field here. But a good round under their belt there for Pier Giorgio Bucci of Italy.
Yes, and again, Connor doesn't necessarily have to finish in the top 10 of this class, just the top 10 of people not qualified already. So that does give him a little bit more leeway.
Luis Fernando Rasbal of Venezuela, and this will be Jon Snow, the standing by Vincino for again another of the Olympians. Paris Olympics was his first spin, and on a 9-year-old here today, which again on the younger side, and again he's been riding this horse into some of the national classes here in Wellington this season, and now stepping it up here this week. Going to be really interesting to see how they feature, but he's been prolifically winning. He's been high up our leading rankings so far this season through the Leading Rider Awards, but a little less experienced with this horse, and again just gives him a little bit more space back to that vertical.
Yeah, that's not a place to whip back unless you're 100% sure your horse is ready for it. And this horse is such an expressive jumper. Which again takes a little bit more time in the air when they jump up and kick their hind end up. It's very nice to watch, but it may be a little bit slower through the air than some of the real speedsters.
Again, 9 years of age, just looking for a little bit more mileage at this level, and it would be a horse for a Grand Prix ride for the future. Looks,
yes, jumping meter 50 easily.
Yeah, I'm going to say looks like one that will be going up a gear yet.
It's just a very well ridden round, so smooth. Everything right out of stride.
Going to bring them home at 69.27 for Jon Snow, and Luis Fernando Rasbal of Venezuela goes into second. A long way to go yet before we really start to shape up those top 5 as it looks, but a nice round and a horse I really like the look of.
100%, and it really suits him. Such a great combination. He's so smooth. Great. Great jumper.
One to note for the future, Jon Snow and Luis Fernando Rasbal. Connor Swale leads the pack so far, early stages, 65.34 from him. Alex Granato now. And Alex also looking for a qualifying spot here with the Kisma Equestrians Helios. Tight turn into this Rolex, he means business.
Yes, Alex is a very fast rider. Like Like you said, he really needs this class to go well. Came back great for the water tray. I think it's important he gets to the right here. He was still trying to cut it short and still trying to get him to land right. Caught that back rail. But see, now he's taking a little bit wider and settling down to finish it up well. Alex has done such a good job developing this horse. Great finish.
Just on 4, it's 71.83. Just one down for Alex Granato and Helios this time. Puts them a little bit further down, so he will... I think the likelihood of him going through in qualifying here just got a little bit tangled up there, getting to the Vogel fence. Got it all sorted out, but just not enough to get the stretch across there. Because again, all that time, Kim, you're losing power, aren't you?
Yes, as the horse started shaking his head and he was still trying to steer it. It just got a little bit empty as he took off. It was unfortunate. Would have loved to have seen him in the U.S. Equestrian Open.
Abdel Said of Belgium now. Another one looking to be in those qualifying places for the world number 21. On the 9-year-old Calvaro today for the gelding by Cascadello. He's been a multi-5-star winning rider here in Wellington before now. Won the Grand Prix in Doha and Qatar this season as well. Before heading straight here to Wellington too, where he's had such success. Now, having seen this combination before, it's a horse with plenty of power. This might well suit them, and he can just... He's keeping this nice at an upbeat pace.
Well, he really did a great job. The horse working at B to pull away from the front rail. That's the hard jump, to get that turn organized and then still be going right on the backside. He's doing a great job. This horse gets away from the jump nicely.
Again, needs to land and turn fast, which he's doing. This is good cutting.
Yeah, he's got a good one off every turn. See how fast he can get to the last.
65.34 leading time at the moment. Should get ahead of that all right. He does leave them up. He gives a little shake of the reins at the finish.
Very good.
62.71 from Abdel Said and Calvaro. He wants that qualifying place into that Rolex Grand Prix here tomorrow night. So Abdel Said into the driving seat.
This is the hard jump, and he really rode it great. The horse was quick on that backside to dip to the inside. That makes the difference. Look at him slice in and still be looking to the right coming out. That was great. Great ride.
Bending the line through the double for Abdel. Gets away with it and gets it spot on to put himself into the early lead. On to Shane Sweetnam of Ireland now. Corian van Klepshoot Z for Shane. And Voquest as well. Jumped yesterday with James Can Cruz. And, of course, they've been winners here before now. They've won a Grand Prix here before now in the 5-star with Alejandro. James Can Cruz twice winner of the American Gold Cup now. And Shane is, again, let loose to take a fly here today.
Yes, he's, I think, a little behind Abdel. Oh, that line got tight for him. Getting a little bit wider, making sure he nails that distance to the Vogel jump. Now he's speeding up. He's got that long run to the slice. This horse is pretty quick through the air, honestly. Oh, wow, look at him. He was working hard to fit that in. And he got it done, but now he's, oh my God, he's lost his power steering. Oh my goodness.
No, hasn't got it. He was just going on the way up there, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness. I don't know if he's having a bit malfunction or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether anything's broken or whether it's just a case of the controls. Yeah, he's got...
The power steering definitely left.
Or we just locked on. I think we just locked on, basically.
Mm-hmm. Now he's going to reorganize and try it again. Oh, that was a shame because he was really gaining speed as he was going.
It's going to build up the time faults there as well. But like I say, Shane Sweetnam already qualified for tomorrow's Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix, and so that'll put time faults in there as well. So it's 1 fault for every time second commenced over the time allowed here, which is 74 seconds. So hence he gets a bigger score there because he's getting a fault for every second there that goes over that. 95.98. So 22 for time, 4 for jumping for Shane Sweetnam. Here at the, and this is where it just started.
So it's going wrong.
Yeah. He's going weight.
And you rarely see a horse do this with Shane.
Yeah.
He just really walked, like you said, locked onto the bit and kind of completely stopped listening.
Henrik von Eckermann, the world #1, Steely Dan. Henrik, as an early round, I'm going to say this has been a really good pairing together this year. The 9-year-old for the Swede. He's already automatically qualified into tomorrow's Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix.
Yes, and with that early rail, now he's going to settle down and just ride the round he wants. No concern of speed.
Henrik been developing this horse throughout the whole of the circuit here in Florida that started back in early January. Again, you can see how he was just getting the control there. As you say, it is 6 up there. For 1 or 2 though, they're just starting to get a little running free down there, and it starts to get short.
Yeah, it's because once you run across from the Vogel all the way across the ring to that slice, then the horses are game on. So it was nice that he was there. He made the horse do the 7 into that vertical to really set the tone that you need to listen when I need you to listen.
Yeah. Goes into 6th place there on the 4 faults there for Henrik von Eckermann and Steely Dan. Abdel Said leading the charge so far, 62.71. And again, this turn back here, the slightest inside slice there, Kim, and you're going to be catching that rail.
Yeah, that's a hard jump. Number 3 is a very difficult jump to jump clean. That one and the Vogel Oxer, you've got to really be on the track you want to be on.
Speaking of Vogel, Richard Vogel, this time around for Germany.
Ooh.
A little bit deeper down there.
A little sticky there and high, but he made it.
Levi Nossar for the rider who's currently world #9, former winner of the Rolex Grand Prix here back in 2023.
This horse has massive stride. You can see him trying to reel it in. Here he doesn't need to speed up. He just got on that inside track and let that big stride carry him.
And again, he can take a real run here. He's already qualified in. Event de la Helibus will be his ride into tomorrow's Rolex Grand Prix as well. Cruising on with the horse that was top in young horse classes last year and has really, again, benefited from a great season here in Wellington. 9-year-old by Zorocco Blue is going to be home in 63.37. It's going to put them into second for Richard Vogel and Levi Nossar. He was able to put enough pressure on there, really.
Yeah, it was a very well ridden round. You know, he was smooth, not crazy running anywhere because the horse has such stride. He could just get that track that he wanted and let the horse travel. But boy, I'll tell you that number 2 was sticky and high. But of course, Richard Vogel on his back, no issue. That's where that experience of the rider really comes through.
Richie able to adapt to that, and again keeps a cool head on the way round. Romain Duguay of Switzerland now, and the Swiss rider making his first appearance here this week as part of the team that have headed down after Nations Cup as well here in Florida. This is Belcanto de Bourguin, the gelding for Romain. Just started to make a little move to the left there.
Well, and he landed so far in over A that he was really touching B before he could elevate. You've got to really take your time in over to A so you have enough room for that front rail at B. Again, just an unassuming horse. Not all the flashy bells and whistles, but a real doer. I think they would call this horse an old-fashioned horse.
Coming home on the 4. Going to have that final fence as well. 71.25 total of 8 there for Romain Duguay, and with the ride there of Belcanto. You say, I mean, a lot of the horses, and Ken Farrington was talking to me about this earlier on this week, about the modern type in there as well. Very, swift, sporty, athletic, almost the sports cars these days in comparison. But also there is plenty of room for that championship type horse that is going to just keep jumping. Okay, they didn't have the clears today, but there's different types in there.
They're and all different, like we said, all different sizes, all different styles, all different types, and it's picking the horse for the class.
Daniel Blumen is on another that's caught the eye over the last 12 months. This the 10-year-old Corby VV. It's gone very well through several of the World Cup shows over the winter, riding for Abigail Wexner, who was also a long-time owner for BZ Madden as well. And again, this a little bit more of the sporty type.
Yes, very sporty, very impressive jumper. How high it was over B. It was huge high.
And jumped, as I say, some of those World Cups as a 9-year-old last year, which are some seriously big classes, and jumped them very successfully. Was one that was looking very impressive to go on for his next big horse. Of course, he's had so much success with the likes of Ladriano. Oh, and just
lost the mouth a bit there. Yeah, again, using that space to make up the time and going a little faster. And you can see where's a big bit already, and then as he needed to settle down, the horse was just running through his hand too much. But you have to practice, and it's best to do it in the ring, because that's where it comes together. You've got to let them out of the bag and then work on it. It's such an impressive jumper.
Going to bring it home with one time foot as well, 74.27, but it is one to keep an eye on for this season. Corby VV. And the ride for Daniel Blumen yet. Here, turn back to the Vogel fence.
Yeah, this is where it just started losing that rideability.
Now, Cian O'Connor and the Carlswood partners, Cambella Blue PS, another from the world's top 20, world number 16 right now for Cian of Ireland. And he's another on the list looking for qualifying for tomorrow night. Another of the newer combinations together, as you can see from that, 4 months together. Cian, who's had such a very good season here, including in Florida in general, having been a World Cup winner just a few weeks ago in Ocala too.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good shot back to the Rolex jump. A little bit wider to the triple. Oh, it's great to see how much those horses pull off that vertical, trying to clear it. And this is a very handy round. He's trying to keep that track small so he doesn't have to go too fast.
Yeah.
Now he's going to let him flow on down here, balance up for the 6. And then carrying some good pace into the combination. Let's see how quick he can get to the right.
Leading time 62.71. He's going to be close to that. Not quite enough, but close to it. 63.63. Puts him into third. That could be key for Cian O'Connor with Cambella Blue PS. Like I say, top 10 from this class qualifying. And then after that, they go back to yesterday's class to get through the rest of bring the rest of the number up to the 40. But here, really good turn back, Kim, to the Rolex fence.
Yeah, the Rolex was very, very quick. I thought he did a really good job of making sure it was coming together, not taking risks, but still being fast enough.
Cian O'Connor giving himself a chance at being a part of that Rolex Grand Prix tomorrow night. And Alina Haas now 21 years of age. Alina with Ogu BT Special. The Irish-bred gelding by my Special de Moose. And again, she's been moving up in more into the 5-star class. Has really stepped up in Spruce Meadows last summer as well. And has just been coming through the U25s well. And all along that pathway, that stepping stones.
Yeah, it's great to see the whole progression of through the juniors and then into the young riders, how that produces you as a rider. The steps are very important. Stephen and I were talking about that earlier, about making sure that you have all the foundations before you start jumping these bigger classes. You know, she deserves to be in here. She's riding well, but she put in the work to get here. Oh, fun to fit it in there. It was a great job. She got it done. Not the fastest round, but a very solid, solid, good ride.
And that's what she's been doing this season, is really solid. Okay, we've had 4 faults there, but really solid rounds for her coming through to this next level, because it is a big step up. Gets there on the 4, and it's going to be a steadier time. It's 69.27 from Alina Haas there. And Ogu BT Special goes into 7th place. But our current leader is Abdul Saeed, who is down with Ali.
Hey, Stephen. Yeah, I'm down here with Abdel Saeed. Abdel, that was a beautiful round. Now, you did not qualify out of the top 30 from yesterday's class. Hopefully, you're trying to qualify for today. Did that change your strategy going into this class?
Yeah, definitely. I was a little bummed yesterday because my horse jumped super, but there were so many clear rounds. I had one down, it was a little slow. And I love being here. I love competing Saturday night under the lights. I think the atmosphere is amazing. So I was really bummed that I wasn't in. And this one is only 9 Calvaro. He's an incredible horse. And I said, okay, we have to just have a proper go, you know. And going half-half, I don't like doing. So I said, let's just go full gas.
Well, that you did. We hope it holds up, and good luck, hopefully, on Saturday night. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Back
much.
to you, Stephen.
Thank you, Ali. And yes, well, he's got a very good chance. Unfortunately, Coco Faith not having the prime start that she would have wanted there with the Hillside Farms Harley D. Stop at the second, comes back for a roll back here as well. She's been having a stronger season up in Ocala most of this season before heading back down here to Wellington. Now, Kim, the key is really sort of get back in the groove, but we're not quite settling in here. I think she's probably going to say, yeah.
Yeah, and again, she's an up-and-coming rider, fighting her way into the 5 stars. Well, from 1 to 2, I think she went a little bit too direct, and the distance was not coming up very well, and the horse stopped. And then these horses, you know, they also worry that they've done something wrong, and I think that then they get a little bit upset, and that's, I think, what led into having the Rolex down. And nothing wrong with regrouping and coming back another day.
Well, a lady who's had an amazing season here as well. She was winner of the Bainbridge 5-star Grand Prix just a few weeks ago. 24-year-old rider here in Emily Conter of Belgium. The Stefex Stables Elabel de Rizet is the mare by Elvis Terput. Now, she's also not yet in qualifying for Emily into the Grand Prix. So we'll see what she does today, because she's not riding her Grand Prix horse, Portobello. But I'm not sure what her plan is for the week either, whether it's key to her, again, concentrate on these classes. But it's a very new combination, as you can see, 4 months together. But what a superb season she's had.
Oh,
so well in the Nations Cup as well.
Yeah, incredible season that she's had. And yes, I see that she's going a little bit more conservative, like you said, but again, she was trying to put in a nice, solid, clean round. Because the way to get to know a new horse is to get in the ring. And it's not slow. It's not like she's crawling.
Yeah, you could hear from about 2 or 3 strides out. She
Saying,
knew she just wasn't quite
Yeah.
in the right spot there.
Yeah.
Just trying to hold things back. I'd say newer partnership together, Emily, with what has been a career highlight this season so far. Probably got a lot more of those to come yet.
Yeah, well, that win in the 5-star with the people on the podium next to her and behind her, with that she will never forget as long as she lives.
No. Finishes on the 470.48. Yes, when you're up there on the podium with the likes of the world number 1, Henrik von Eckermann, and you've got ahead of them to win here in Wellington, where it's so hard to win as well. As you say, they were just coming into that Equestrian Open fence, and it was just getting too tight for them in the end.
Yeah. As the partnership grows, then the horses will start listening to the voice and understanding what the rider wants. Takes time.
Aaron Vale now, Don Stewart and Debbie Smith's Styles. The gelding by Kornit Obolensky for Aaron on the winning team last week for Team USA and Ocala as well. He's been one of the biggest winners here in Wellington over his career too. Jumping yesterday on Carissimo, aiming towards the Grand Prix now. Goes with a horse that's also been catching the eye this season too. Be very interested to see this 9-year-old in action here in Wellington, but there were lots of good rumblings about this from Ocala.
Yes, everyone was hearing about Aaron's grey horse. Wow, that was such a good ride. It was so close to the vertical when he took off, and he really just got that horse to slow down and curl around it. I think Aaron is maybe one of the most winning American riders in the Grand Prix.
Yes. He's certainly in the top 3.
Yes. This horse looks like it has a lot of natural great instincts. He took a nice shot in. He didn't baby him coming in. Just ticked off the front rail.
Gives him a total of 8, but he was 4th place yesterday in the Challenge Cup qualifiers, so he's home and hosed and into the final few into the Grand Prix tomorrow. Leaves him on 8 today, 2 down at 68.34 for Aaron Vale and Styles.
Yeah, again, it's so when you're a little bit close to that vocal jump and you're still trying to finish the turn, it's very hard to clear.
Again, they were just trying to bend that line, and it just got a little bit too far for them in the end. Mario Delorier and Aaron Mapagumian's Inside of My Heart. Another 9-year-old here. Holsteiner Bear by L.B. Crumble for the Canadian Olympian. Mario also having qualified yesterday on Emerson, his Olympic ride. So, again, really for this horse, it's an experienced run.
Yes, you could see from the beginning he was tidy, but he was not outside of the comfort of the horse's gallop. It's a lot of jumping, this course.
No, exactly. Like we said, first and foremost, it's a jumping track. And then you've also got to put some speed into it as well.
Exactly. Between the jumping part.
Yeah. Not just a flat-out speed class. Total of 12 at 68.39. 12 there for Mario Delorier and Inside of My Heart as they finish on a dozen. Into 40th place so far. Abdul Saeed staying into the lead. Early stages of this Bainbridge Company's 150 Classic this afternoon. Second of the qualifiers for the Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. Nina Malavey, another looking for a qualifying spot, going to a superb partner in the Rain family's Cartier SR, the gelding by Cantorenta for Nina, who's had a fantastic season here in Florida, her best yet. 3 wins in Ocala, wins here from the U25s, top 3 in the big Grand Prix as well here. 3-year partnership now with this fabulous grey.
I think we will see many, many more years out of this young lady.
Just again looked a little bit of a tight cut in there.
Yeah, ended up a little bit on that inside track and not enough space. I really appreciate Nina's position. She's like always around the horse. I don't feel like there's any part of her that's posing. She's very workmanlike. Beautiful rider.
Takes them home with some time faults to add as well. It's a total of 11 there for Nina Malavé and Cartier SR for the young French rider. I think looking like her only spin around here as well. So that would put them at the moment outside of the qualifying. Like I say, they can go back to the list. But again, you can see how she just gone into that inside shot there, Kim.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel like if she would just been a little bit more middle or even outside to give it a couple more inches.
Rounds are so easy in hindsight, aren't they?
Well, from sitting up here, it's just so easy to figure out what to do.
Absolutely. It's dead easy. Luis Fernando Larrazabal of Venezuela, Victoria Tomatas Condar. This is the horse he rode through to the Olympic Games in Paris. Took him to top 20 at the Pan American Games in Santiago as well. Again, with he aiming for the Grand Prix, this would be the horse I would imagine he would try and ride in that Grand Prix as well. Steps over the Rolex fence.
Yeah, we'll see what the strategy is here to the Vogel.
And they were 8 faults yesterday in the qualifier, so at the moment they're outside of qualifying.
Yeah, really important that he goes clean. Him saying, whoa. I'd call this a hair conservative, but really solid. Just trying to put in that good score. Wait for the last.
Goes round in 67.09 and clear for Luis Larrazabali's fan club on the sidelines once again. Gives him a good cheer into 5th place there for Luis and Condara. We see whether that will be enough a little later on, but he puts himself in with a chance of qualifying. As you say, just a little bit more space, but sensibly there to that Rolex fence.
Yes, yeah. Everywhere he took that extra moment out of the turn.
Nicolas Philipparts now, Derby de Riverlands, Frenchman gelding by Cannon. Several times winner into WEF Challenge Cups this season. Host of wins for this rider on this horse. And this could be right up their street. This is where they go so well. You can see early on, he starts to take it up a notch.
Yeah, as soon as he was able to, he went ahead, flew on into that Rolex.
Now again, he finished into qualifying places yesterday. I would imagine he's going to go to Katanga for the Grand Prix. So today, Derby can really go for this.
Yeah, he can take any chance he wants. Oh, it was just from 5 strides out. He knew he was a little bit past it already. But once you're committed to that slice, it's very hard to change the line. Took a little bit more time to the last as well.
Leaves him on 4:67.32. Not to be today for Nicola Philipparts and Derby de Riverland. Goes into 8th place at the moment. And as I say, already a qualifier from yesterday. Because down after the Vogel fence, but as you say, just trying to get in there, just trying to get right. Knew he was just having to do a bit of work into that fence.
Yes, it just ran out of real estate.
Erin Ballard now of Canada. Sarah Friedman's Dior. Now for the Canadian Olympian. Brand new partnership, as you see, 1 month. 4 starts. 50% rate, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
But it's not many rounds.
But
two
it's
from two.
Also, yeah, but it's also a horse you don't know, as only Erin can do. Well, Laura McLean. I mean, there are people that can do it, but
But
anyway,
she does it on so many different horses.
She does
That's
it all
the thing.
the time.
I'd say New Ryle unfortunately has that down.
Yeah, this is the big jumper. You probably look forward to seeing this one at Spruce Meadows on those big fields. But I love the way that even though she is at 8 faults, she's still turning, she's still doing, getting to know the horse better.
Going well yesterday for the double clear. She in 8th place into the qualifying positions. But as you say, I mean, this pair is just going to want mileage. I'm not sure which horse she'll go to for the Grand Prix. I don't think it'll be this one. It's probably, but anyway, she's going to finish on a total of 8 this time. 72.31 for Erin Ballard and Dior. But, you know, it is getting ring time at this point.
Well, especially when you've hardly shown it. Yes.
Good swing back here, but just not enough to make the space.
Yeah, when you get a new horse, it's trial and error to see exactly how sharp you can turn, whether you need a straight stride, whether you're fine to catch it on the fly. All these questions get answered in the ring.
The Mexican rider teamed up with the 11-year-old mare, trying to chase that down that lead time.
Mexico's Patricia Pascual now, and Alicia Santa Rosa is the Mexican-bred mare by the great Presley Boy, which was a fantastic horse as well back into sort of the early 2000s.
Oh, that was
a little bit beyond that as well.
Yes.
4-year partnership now for this next generation. Patricio, hugely experienced Mexican rider through to championship level, world championships included in that. Now, gives a little bit more space again to this Rolex fence.
Yeah, but it really paid off. Horse jumped it great. He got out a little bit farther than I think he wanted to the triple. Worked it out. It's a quick horse away from the fence. Then being a little bit conservative to the jump. Don't think it's going to be that slow. Great slice. Great job with his body trying to get the horse to pull off that front rail at the Oxer. See if he does it again here at the double. The way that lands and darts in. Oh, what a shame.
Final fence dropping there, a cry of anguish from Patricio Pascal. And that of Alicia Santa Rosa was giving a really good shot. Goes into 8th place there on the 4-fault, 66.54 for Patricio. And so doesn't go to the top of the water. That remains Abdul Saeed on 62.71 into 8th place for Patricio this time. Would have gone top 5 otherwise. Luis Fernando Larrazabal with 2 in the top 10 at the moment, with Kondara and John Snow, both on the clears. Clears taking us down to 7th place at this stage. Sami Eldahan, one of 2 rides for the British rider. This is on to a memoir. 15-year-old Irish-bred horse. The base out in Ireland for Sami. Two rides for him in this class this afternoon as well, as he looks to qualify.
Again, not the fastest round, but efficient and clean so far. Now he's getting a little speed, that place everyone can take a little bit of shot. See how much he can make up coming home. Touched that one behind, but it stayed up. Kind of shot he takes into the last. I think he's getting a little bit more confident as he goes and taking a shot.
They've had a winter out in California where they put a number of wins together. He's not going to be too far away here for Sami, and is going to go on a time of 64.93. And a memoir will go into 4th place now for Sami Eldahan. Again, we'll see.
Yeah,
Might be enough.
How that shakes out. It was a smart ride.
Yeah. So Sami Eldahan with, as I say, one of 2 spins here. A memoir, winner, as I say, on a regular basis in Thermal in California. Now for a rider who's been a past winner on the Rolex Grand Slam, winning in Spruce Meadows. Gives himself a chance of being into the Saturday night Rolex Grand Prix, part of the new Rolex series. Alessandro Volpi now, Cedar Fox of California's Gracieux de Bachy for the 25-year-old. Again, produced a very good round yesterday. She's been really solid through the season, not quite like that. Now it's recovery time.
Yeah, I think the recovery has already happened.
Yeah,
no problem. Oh, it's a shame she's been, like you said, so consistent this season.
Yeah. I've been training with Marcus and Meredith Beerbaum. It's certainly paid off. She's produced some good jumping over the last few years, being part of the US teams and headed over to Europe. This year probably had one of her best seasons in Wellington. Now very much back in the groove here.
Oh. Terrific horse. Brave and careful.
That's a little bit of time there too. Total of 6:75.09 for Alessandra Volpi and Gracieux de Bachy. So he already booked her place into tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, she was just a little too far out and about 3 feet off where she wanted to be. That happens on the turn sometime. You're looking in and then you get a little past where you're looking.
Janneke Sprunger now of Switzerland. And this is Teluga Lady Liberty for the Swiss rider. And a little hesitant at the start, unfortunately.
She already knew it was sticky. Yeah.
Little sticky. Now Janneke, who was another one looking for qualifying, it's not going to happen today with this pair anyway, so decides to put the hand up and retire.
Yeah, when you see them start like that, you wonder how the school went. Was there a problem in the schooling area? Because it was already feeling a little faint of heart at number 1, and then same exact at number 2. Smart of her to put up her hand and figure out
She was outside of qualifying yesterday as well for the Swiss Championship rider, so doesn't look like she'll be a part of tomorrow's Rolex Grand Prix, but partner Henrik von Eckermann will be. That is Lily Keenan behind there, I think.
The pole is really
perfect polling. Yeah, but it is Lily Keenan. I can tell you. This is like one of those sports games. They have the game shows where identify the sports
from
person.
their shoulders.
Yeah.
From their shoulders.
Anyway, I can tell you it's Lily Keenan. Lily also looking for a good round here because she's looking to qualify. She was on the winning team last week for Team USA in Ocala. Pressure on today for Lily to get the job done for the world number 25. Aganda Belliard going to the 15-year-old that she rode through to World Championships and to a number of big Grand Prix wins that she's had. As you can see, good clear round rate there of 63%. Four faults are better 85% of the time. Now find a little chat before they go.
Yeah. This is the one they pull out when she wants her comfortable slippers. That was very, very well executed, her track.
Good smooth turn of the Rolex. Now again, you just got to give yourself a little bit of breathing space here.
Yeah, because she was so on the inside track, she could keep the stride so in check. Get it, girl. She just needs to stay smooth.
Ooh, not quite so smooth there, but
That's
got
all right.
there.
She's just doing great.
Keep it going.
One more.
One from home for Lily Keenan, Aganda Belliard.
Oh, what a shame.
64.58, just came up into that final fence. And so cost them the 64.58 would have put them into fourth place there. Instead, they go into ninth. Little look of agony on the face.
Yeah, that was such a shame. She kept it so organized just there. She thought she could make up a little time and got a little bit loose and going to it. What a shame. It was such a nice round. Ugh. You can see the disappointment in her body language. Such a good ride to the Vogel. Great job with the track. See right away getting into that inside track, the open vertical.
Italy now, and Giacomo Casadei, who's another new face here in Wellington this week from Italy. Marbella du Chablis. Been part of the team last week in Ocala. It's headed down with the likes of Julia Montenegro Marquette as well.
Yeah, he's looking more comfortable than yesterday even. Getting some great mileage being over here for Ocala and for Wellington. Such a great experience. Yeah, the whole tone of this round is so much different than the other days. Happy to come home with a clean today. Excellent job.
Good round from Giacomo Casadei, one of the upcoming stars from Italy. 2 seconds plus adrift, but will go into sixth place so far for the Italian. With Marbella du Chablis. Has to wait and see whether that is going to be good enough for qualifying. Abdul Said, Richard Vogel, Keane O'Connor, top three so far. with Abdul Saeed leading at 62.71. Super round from the young Italian to put him in qualifying position at the moment.
Yeah, that was a great round.
Rodrigo Pessoa of Brazil, the Artemis Equestrian Farms, Dalida. There by de Montesemi. Rodrigo, brilliant career from Olympic champion, world champion, and into the mix this week with Major Tom as well for the Rolex Grand Prix. He's, of course, a Rolex testimony, one of several competing here this week. And rightly based on a world-class career. Now, he just really tucks tight in there very nicely.
Sure did. Yeah, he was very efficient. 1, 2, 3. Goes a little wide, but gets a good shot coming back to the right. I think this is one of those rounds that is sneaky efficient. Using the bend there.
Gets out, gets the curve in the line. Now a good shot at the finish. He can cruise down to this. Not going to quite catch the lead, but he's going to be well up there for Rodrigo Pessoa and Dalida. 63.98 will put them into fourth place there for Rodrigo. Nice and slickly round there, Kim.
Yeah, that if one of those rounds that everything was just even and smooth. And smooth is always fast. You never saw him feel desperate anywhere. He was just so on the inside track. Nothing left a chance on that round.
Sarah Siegel, final one of our first half of this $62,500 Bainbridge Company's 5-star. Horatio Street Ventures Tom Hanks. Now again, new partnership for her. No clear round rate because they've only had one start so far. I think this is it.
This is a hard course to not know your horse for her. I would say just from watching this round, suitability is perfect. They really suit each other. When you sit and you watch this class with all these phenomenal riders and great horses, you get thinking that it's easy and it's not that hard. And Sarah's having a good round. She doesn't know the horse that well, and she's having a very solid round. And you could see how easily you can have 16 faults.
Yeah, 16 there, 69-0. I'd say new combination there with Sarah Siegel and Tom Hanks. And as you say, it's just a really well, right in the early stage. It's the start of their career together.
The beginning.
And very, very easy. Just get a little bit pacey in there, and it just starts to ramp up the scoring, unfortunately. And so with the first half completed, it has been a good run for Abdul Saeed. As we see them, Sarah Siegel just trying to come out of that corner there, just not quite getting the shot she wants. So that again, looking to move up the line here.
Yeah, I mean it's just little inches here and there that make the difference.
Let's take a look at who's qualified in groups so far. Abdul Saeed and Calvaro, top of the pack, and should, fingers crossed, keep them in qualifying all right. Richard Fogel, Levi Nosar, Ken O'Connor into third. He was also looking to plant his flag in tomorrow's Rolex Grand Prix as well. Rodrigo Pessoa already in there with Dalida. Sami El-Dahan this time around also looking for qualifying with Amémoire is top 5 at the moment. Connor Swale also looking for a qualifying spot, was early leader, now into 6th place. Giacomo Casadei is the same for him as he looks to try and remain in the top 10 for qualifying position. Luis Fernando Larrazabal, 2 shots already that he's had and 2 in the top 10. And then Pier Giorgio Bucci, who's already in for qualifying with Garfield de la Sens. Lily Keenan, she has got one more ride to come. She's outside the top 10 right now. Like I say, it's top 10 for today, and then once we go beyond that, we go back to tomorrow's WEF Challenge Cup to take the rest of those until we get our 40 into qualifying for Saturday night. Nicola Philippart's 67.32 with 4 in the end with Derby de Riverland that has won so much this season, and then down to the rest of our completing top 18 up to date. And we're going to head down to Ali, who's catching up with a rider who's already had a spin around this course.
Yeah, hey Stephen, I'm down here with Patricio Pascal. Patricio, that was quite a run, super fast, heartbreak at the last fence. Other than that last fence, do you think the course rode nice according to your plan?
Yes, everything went according to the plan. To be honest, when I landed from the double, I saw the 8, and I said, no, do the 9, the 9. Then I think they got a bit short, but unfortunately I had the last rail, but the mare was jumping really nice.
But you are already qualified for Saturday night, so that's a little bit of a no sweat off your back there. We've seen you here a few times as well in the past, 2 years ago, and then before that a few other times. What keeps you coming back? You know, what keeps me coming back is the great riders that come to show here. You know, you always have the great competence to win a class. It's as hard as anywhere or harder than anywhere in the world. As you know, we've competed together in the past in Spruce Meadows, in other places, but I hear it's a much harder to win. You know, and also so everybody brings their good horses, and we'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be very interesting. There's a lot of money. The horses will be ready. But thank God my horse jumped really well yesterday, and I think we're ready for tomorrow. Absolutely, and we've seen you for some of the Nations Cups here as well. Can you touch base on that? Is that why you mostly come here? Yes, as I told you before, mainly when I get invited to the Nations Cup here. Unfortunately, with the League of Nations, Mexico and Canada got pushed out of the League of Nations, and no, Canada is in, I think, no, but Mexico got kicked out. And now we have to be looking around for Nations Cup with the younger riders. I hope the FAA reconsiders that and does another league for each continent. It will be easier, and then the final will be much nicer. You've heard of the hassle that has been going on with the League of Nations, no? But I mean, it is what it is. But nicely enough, they do one here, and it's nice enough. Now we're going to go up to Langley and do one there, and then I think there's a 3-star Nations Cup in Grand Rapids in Michigan. No? So we'll try to give it a go. Perfect. Well, best of luck to you tomorrow night. Congratulations for that qualification. Back to you, Stephen.
Thank you, Ali. Yep, looking well ahead into the season already. The rest of the year is on the horizon. Time ticking away, as you can see on our Rolex clock there. It is 5 to 2 in the afternoon here in Wellington, Florida. First half completed of the $62,500 Bainbridge Company's 5-star. Top 10 from this class qualifying into that Rolex US Equestrian Open tomorrow night here at Wellington. Make sure you join us for that. Second half coming up after a short break here from all of us here in Florida. Back in a moment. Well, welcome back to Florida, just a few minutes away. We're just on a short break between the two halves of our $62,500 Bainbridge sponsored class here this afternoon as part of a massive 5-star week here in Wellington, Florida. And just a few moments away from resuming into our second group. Abdul Saeed leading the way so far in this class that leads towards that Rolex Grand Prix, part of the new Rolex series as well, which takes us around the globe. And we'll be back in just a few moments' time to get back into the action here from Wellington, Florida. Just a little bit of breeze today and perfect conditions, and we're back for what is going to be hot competition. See you in a minute.
Giving back has been something that's always been incredibly important to me.
Doesn't matter where you come from all over the world, we are all people. We need to do something together.
I think if you've helped one person, you've made an impact.
This younger generation is what inspires me.
I think an extraordinary life to me would be to take chances, to take risks.
You can't make yourself be iconic. It just, you are.
When I look at a painting and my heart starts beating, that's impact. Or a piece of jewelry, definitely.
Thanks so much. Thanks. This has been great. Changing the strategy makes a lot of sense.
Doors.
Keep an eye out for the invitation. Can't wait to see it.
Bring us together. A dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors with a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your
The
wealth.
architect left the plans in the back if you want to take a look.
She's so ready to take over. For retirement and everything else you're looking to build. We'll get there. Your Fidelity advisor can help your legacy last for generations. Doors were meant to be opened.
If only every adventure began with your makers of wishes come true. If only they anticipated every aspect of your imagination. They would remind you that surprises are for the child in all of us. Help you celebrate successes and ensure all your milestones are absolutely unforgettable. What if only was possible? It is with only NetJets.
Well, moments away, resuming into our $62,500 Bainbridge Speed this afternoon, part of the 5-star. The very, very best in the sport. It is 6 of the world's top 10 competing this week here in Wellington, Florida, as part of the Rolex week, and leading into tomorrow's big night, Saturday night, for the Rolex Grand Prix. We also have the Grand Prix pre-show for you tomorrow too, from 7 o'clock local time. I'll be in the seats there alongside BC Madden, Ann Kaczynski and Jimmy Turano to take you a rundown of what's coming up there. And then heading into the Grand Prix itself with Kim and myself into the rundown of what will be the Grand Prix itself from after 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And so let's take a little look at who's still to come on our order here, because again, this is the second of the qualifiers for that Rolex Grand Prix as well. And with the top 10 qualifying from today's class, we saw a top 30 from yesterday's, which was the key qualifier. This then the supporting qualifying class, those still to come. Michaela Langmeyer of the US with Giselle Lien. Margie Goldstengel down, but actually she's now withdrawn. Olivier Robert is looking to qualify too for France, makes his first trip here with Ganesh de Reveland. Adrian Sterling and Los Angeles de Lessons. It is Catherine Driscoll, Castelletto, Ashley Bond, and Nightwish, Ashley, former winner of the Grand Prix here for the Rolex title. And Aaron Vale goes for a second run here, this time with Grays in. Niall Nassar, Ivory TCS. Very good winners so far this season. This class could really be up their street, we'll see. Cian O'Connor now in a stronger position, having his first ride up in the top few for qualifying. Giacomo Casadei with a second spin there too with Corradina for the young Italian. Also has put himself in a good position now. Jordan Coyle, Giacolino in between those. Julia Martinego Marquette for Italy, who was such a really good performer throughout the Rolex Grand Prix last season as well across Europe. Emily Conter, second run there. Christian Kukuk of Germany, the Olympic champion, this time with a different ride though, Espoir Blanc Cristal. He's already into the Grand Prix, although he's also pre-qualified, as is Kent Farrington and Greyer, and see that combination really being a readiness spin before tomorrow's Grand Prix for those two, René Dittmer and Cody. Daniel Blumen, Gemma W. Daniel, another looking to get into qualifying position for tomorrow night. Daniel Coyle was top 3 yesterday, so he's home safe. He can take a run here with Farrell. Bliss Hears makes a return to the ring with Foligno. Nina Malave also looking to qualify, gets another shot here with Mike Clementine. Ben Mayer, winner yesterday with Point Break. Today rides his Grand Prix ride, and again I see that as an opening spin for them. Lily Keenan gets a second run here with Chili Pepper, and she got close to qualifying on her first ride, but just not quite enough. Now the pressure's really on with what can be a fast pairing with Chili Pepper. McLean Ward, First Lady, have been picking off class after class like this. It's right up their street, so watch out for them. Dara Kenny on what again looks like his Grand Prix ride with Amsterdam. Olivier Robert's second run with his major Grand Prix horse Iglesias goes towards the end, and finally Jordan Coyle's second run with Euriska goes into our second half here. And from what we've seen so far, again, it is a keen jumping class first and foremost. Clears, we've seen actually 10 of those, and so it is 10 clears at the moment out of our group. So if you're looking to be in our top 10, that's what you need. And that is, though, a one-round competition. Here are some of the faults. The fence 3 there, the Rolex fence, has caused problem for a few. This was Eugenio Garza from a little bit earlier on. The turn back to the Vogel fence, Kim, again, that's been a tough one for 1 or 2, but this Rolex fence is really key early on. And here, a few good performances from some of the younger talents as well. And fortunately not to be for Coco Faith today, but others in there just caught out by just again trying to slice a little tight to that US equestrian fence. You come round the corner there, round the gazebo, and again you're really going to see that with about 3 or 4 strides, if that, to go before you get to that point.
That's all your horse sees it for sure. And you're on the slice, so there's not that much wiggle room. You know, if you're going straight on, you can cut in, pull out. But on the slice, you're pretty much committed to just try and get through the standards.
Seeing Mario Delorier with Inside of My Heart. Some just trying to cut on the inside into that triple combination there, Kim. For some it worked. It once worked superbly for Rodrigo Pessoa. Not quite to be for some others.
Exactly. It's all about the line and basically what gallop you have. The beginning is hard to get a rhythm. You have to stay out 1 to 2 to make that oxer jumpable, and then the place to take a shot is that Rolex vertical. So again, it's hard to start. There's no real long rhythm. It starts very windy, then straight into the triple combination. After the combination, the tight ride to the water tray, and then what I think is the hardest jump on the course is the Vogel oxer. So right off the bat, the first half of the course is all challenging. And then you can see people trying to go a little bit faster at the end once they feel like they've done the tricky part.
Getting set for the next group. And as you can see, our Rolex clock keeping perfect time for the afternoon here. Sunny afternoon. Many under the roofs, undercover, watching out in the boxes and out from the International Club as well. Riding in now is Michaela Langmeyer of the USA. Linda Langmeyer's Giselle NS, the mare by Belou de Rouet for our next, and for Michaela, 25-year-old who's been also training with McLean Ward. Here with this 11-year-old mare.
Michaela's a very strong rider. As a junior, she was very strong in every division. Spent some time working with Katie Prudent, and now with McLean. Her mother is a great trainer. Her father is a great horse trainer. She's really apprenticed her way to this level. For somebody so young, she's really put in some some serious training years.
Yeah, certainly has. Went very well through the World Cups. No, Carla started off the season actually in California as well, heading out there for the World Cup with a nice win behind them there too.
Yes, exactly. Oh, unfortunately, front rail of number 2. It's, like I said, it's hard to get any kind of rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was a very strong rider. Great position, long legs. She can wrap around a horse. She can really give it confidence. Cross cantering a little bit there. The gallop isn't quite the quality she wants at this moment.
Little touch in there costs them another rail as they come home on the 4 for Michaela Langmeier. In fact, now adding to the 8, and in fact the last making it a dozen in all. 68-64 for Michaela and Giselle NS. So we'll finish on 12. In the end, just not quite the smooth round they would have wanted.
Yes, like right from the beginning, there wasn't a great rhythm right from the start, and then it's hard to play catch up as you go in a course like this.
Adrian Sterling now of the USA, the Starlight Farms Los Angeles de la Sens is now the 11-year-old gelding by Los Angeles. For Adrian, multi-World Cup winner, World Championship gold medalist, actually. And yeah, that's who I was expecting to start, which is Olivier Robert. Actually, he's on course at the moment for France. And now for the multi-5-star winning rider. This is Ganache de Revelange. Just got a little glimpse of Adrian, who's going to be next. Olivier also looking to qualify. Didn't have the round he would have wanted yesterday for the rider who's won the likes of the Madrid and Rome Grand Prix.
And that was a nice ride across the ring there. Every stride was even, got on that angle exactly out of stride, never had to disrupt it. Oh, bring it on home.
Yeah.
This is a really, really solid round. Not the quickest, but very solid.
Leave them up, and he has a chance to getting into the qualifying, and it might just be a little slow from that point of view. We'll see. 67.98. And so for Olivier Robert and Ganache de Riverland, we'll put them into 9th place, so just inside that top 10 at the moment. So they're only just hanging on by the fingernails at this point. He's got another ride to come with his Grand Prix horse in Iglesias a little later on. But as you say, I mean, really got confident coming down to the Paris fence down here as well. I mean, he was just out hunting at this point.
Yeah, really just such an even round. Oh, it was nice. Just a little bit wide on a few turns, but such a good round.
There we go. Shall we talk about Adrian Sterling again?
Go.
Okay. Chasing in with Los Angeles de la Sens. Now, this a pairing I don't see taking a run at the Grand Prix yet in their career. And as I say, it's been a new one for this season.
Yeah, I know I keep saying this over and over, but the track you take is so important. These jumps are big and coming up fast. You've got to make sure that you're on the track that you want to be on. A little bit in, a little bit out. That's the difference in clean and one down. Yeah, you can see this horse is going to be a good horse for her in the future. It's quick,
Yeah.
great style.
Little rub at the last. Just finished on a total of 869-1 for Adrian Sternlich. And again, as you say, it's going to be a really good horse for them. They just maybe get out of a rhythm that they're not quite comfortable in yet.
Exactly. But it really covers the ground great. Tidy with its legs. Handy in the turns.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And all the ingredients are there.
Yep. Just get it all together.
As you say, if we were just able today being a speed class, to come down just a fraction of a pace, it would be very different.
Exactly.
Kathleen Driscoll now for the Plain Bay Farm of Middleburg, Virginia. This is Castelletto for the 32-year-old. One class after class both this year and last year in Traverse City in Michigan. And also Grand Prix winner out in Kentucky as well.
Yeah, Kat is just a fast rider, and then coupled with training with Katie Perdant, who was a very fast trainer.
Again, just hard to get to that shot at 3.
Yeah.
You're coming right back to it, and you've just got to be on your spot.
Yeah, and it's a chance you have to take.
Yeah. Yeah, deciding it's not to be today, so decides to retire there for Kat Driscoll. And Castelletto this time for the US rider.
Yeah, again, it's week 12. This is the end of this series, and it's been a long winter. There's no need to jump extra jumps.
And it's only the first quarter of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like we've done a year's worth of season already.
Feels like that.
Ashley Bond of Israel and Nightwish again for the 9-year-old for Ashley. Jumped this combination in the qualifier yesterday. Finishing 32nd. I would think they will get in there for qualifying for the Grand Prix. She's a past winner of the Rolex Grand Prix as well. Back a few years ago onto the grass with Carolina Bullmore.
Oh, wow. Really flew into the triple and patted the ground so beautifully at B. There's a real way of letting them travel and not getting in their way. She really can be on a loose rein. She puts enough bit that when she needs it, she has it. But she's not a fussy rider, you know. She's just a forward rider. That was really well done. Bring it on home.
Coming home quickly, but not quickly enough to catch the leader, but it's going to be a good round nonetheless. 66-69, it's nearly 4 seconds adrift of the lead, though, for Ashley Bond in the upcoming Nightwish. Going top 10, though, going into 8th place for Israel's Ashley Bond.
Well, the horse jumped so well that round. It really tried so hard through the triple combination, but in a very confident, easy way. That's terrific, terrific round. I love it when the horse is like so measuring the jump.
Running free there for Ashley Bond into the top 10. Now the second ride for Aaron Vale. And Aaron again with a super run with this horse up into Ocala. He's made his way down this week here to Wellington. This thinks like a horse's Grays in. He's liking the Grays. Styles a little bit earlier on as well. The very good grey in his string too. Carissimo there will be his Grand Prix ride.
I think he was very prompt 1, 2, 3. I'm wondering if he's not on it.
Good chase across there.
A little bit out, but he can still get up to it. Can put a little bend in this. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Boy, you can see, oh,
Wow.
what a shame. It was such a good ride. Oh, that was just too bad.
He was not far away for time in the end, 63.30, just on the 4 though, but down into the order for 13th place for Aaron Vale and Gray's Inn. Still leaving Abdel Saeed at the top of the leaderboard, as you say, Kim. He was just trying to bend this line in here
Yeah.
and it just lost the jump a little going into it.
Oh, that was a shame because the rest had just been executed so beautifully. Super effort at the last.
Abdel Saeed of Egypt. Evergate Stables, Ivory TCS, like I say, several-time winner this season. This is a pair that really could be suited to this. I'm looking at this one and I'm looking at McLean Ward with First Lady
Yes.
as if we were going on the betting, would be in the top few in the favourites.
I would totally agree with you.
Tricky early fence out the way.
Beautiful into the triple. All right. Make or breaker here.
Or it was just starting to scramble a little in the approach.
Yes. It definitely, the rhythm changed so much. You could see that.
I was going to say, I think we've done enough. Okay, hand goes up. Not going to win it. We were in it to win it.
And so we're out.
Yeah, so deciding to retire there for Niall Nasser and Ivory TCS. Really good start, but just one fence means that they're out of going for the #1 spot, and that's what they were going for. And they know now we're looking at prize money. We're looking at clears as well. So
yes, it's so true.
You're running for nothing.
On week 12.
Final discussion going on down there between Connor Swale and Vanessa Mannix. Connor, who's been a very long time trainer with her. Back to her time in Ireland as well. Canadian with her own Carmela Z. The mare by Candilo for Vanessa Mannix. Strong performances in Canada last year as well, including at Thunderbird. Hails herself from Calgary, Alberta. Three years on the clock now between these two, coming up to their 60th appearance.
Oh, that's so nice. A horse, keep it in top shape and walk into these classes knowing what it's going to do. Start. All right, let's see if she has a little bit of time to set this up. Been good. Now she knows she can put on the gas. Oh, good angle. Not the speediest, but if she can just keep on this, it'd be a placing. Keep coming through here. It wasn't so fast into that combination, but she was definitely on the inside corner.
Brings her home in 68.62 for Vanessa Mannix, and Carmela Z puts her just outside the top 10 into 11th place there. And as you say, just a little bit more pace would have kicked them into that top 10. It started pretty quickly, and then, as you say, second half, the needle just seemed to drop.
Yeah, it got just a little bit. Once she got over the slice, she kind of stopped pushing too much. Got a little bit slower on the VIP side of the ring.
11th spot there for Vanessa Mannix. And in the background, Cian O'Connor getting ready on his second ride for the world number 16. This time Ranoko jumps Fermoy. And he looks, I was going to say, he looks like he means business, but unfortunately that's going to stop them in their tracks. Cian already in third place with Canbella Blue.
Yeah, he really had the, you really had the feeling he was going fast right off the bat, didn't you?
And again, he got a bit of breathing space there, having put himself into third earlier on. He's, you know, fairly well positioned now for qualifying.
The source is such a cute way of jumping, and he kind of goes down to then kick up his hind end. He's nice in front and then more impressive behind. It's like a Breyer horse jumping. I think he's not going to be very happy having that early rail.
Yeah, going to leave him with some time faults there as well. It is a total of 7 there for Cian O'Connor on his second run round here, with Fermoy currently in third. Like I say, Richard Vogel in second. Abdul Saeed leading this $62,500 Grand Prix qualifying class. Little cut in there.
Yeah, he was trying to be slick, and it was just a little too slick.
Top 10 at the moment. Olivier Robert into 10th spot with Ganesh de Revelange for France at 67.98. Jordan Coyle, first of 2 for Jordan, actually. The Irish rider with the Elan Farms, Chacolino, gelding by Chaco Blue. Multi-5-star Grand Prix winning rider from Thermal through to Canada. Been on the podium here last year as well in the 5-star Grand Prix too to start off the season last time around. That was in the Fidelity Grand Prix on For Gold.
Yeah, and he's definitely taking his time on this one.
Yeah, I was just going to say, For Gold is a very small, sporty horse. You know, different types as well.
Yes.
This is a much bigger type, but lots of jump there. It's going to have Euriska to go down at the end of this class as well.
Yeah, we were saying yesterday, he rides so many different styles and sizes and temperatures.
Oh. We're down to the walk. Quietly, quietly. There we go.
Taking this moment to do some schooling. When you watch the speed class and everyone's cutting to the inside, you forget how big this ring is. And when someone goes to the walls, it's forever. Huge ring.
Well, takes his time there, so it's some time faults on top there. A total of 11 there for Jordan Coyle at 84.89 with Chacolino. There's been some fast rounds, some impressive rounds, and some really superb horses to see. And a man who knows what it's like to win. Not in the lead right now, but a good round nonetheless. Aaron Vale is down with Ali.
Yeah, hi, Stephen. I'm down here with Aaron Vale. Aaron, that was a pretty quick round. Unfortunately, you had one down. It would have slotted you into second place, but you are already qualified for Saturday night. What do you take us through your round? What do you think happened at that fence?
Well, it's a good course today. There's a lot of hard turns with some square oxers. You know, the jumps don't feed off to you off the turns real well, so it's a bit tricky. This horse has won some nice classes this winter, and I think just the intensity, 12 jumps against the clock, you know, he's mostly won some jump-off classes, and just the intensity catches up with you after that many fences. So needs a few more of these Table A classes to bring it home the last stretch there.
Absolutely, and you are the man to do it. Faster, master of faster. So, and thank you for speaking to us, and good luck tomorrow night.
All right,
back to you, Stephen.
Yes, good luck to Aaron tomorrow night with Carissimo. We're back with Giacomo Casadei of Italy now, and Corrediana van Klein as Dunks. And nice easy one to go with. We are well round. We are over the US Equestrian Open fence, and he's keeping up a good pace here, Kim.
Yeah, it's not the fastest, but it's very efficient. You can hear whistles from the in-gate. People are like, go faster, but it's not been slow. Horse is jumping just so easily. Oh, so my fault. I'm sorry. Every time I say that, they have a jump down. Oh, it's too bad. It was a very smooth, easy round.
And so we'll leave them on the 4 faults into 16th place at 65.91 for Giacomo Casadei and Corrediana at that point. Turn back here to the Bainbridge fence.
Very good over the last. I think Aaron just summed it up. You know, it's like I said, the course is long, and once you get through the tricky part at the beginning, you start opening up, and then it gets harder to bring it home clean.
Italy's Giulia Martinego Marquette now, and this Scuderia 1918's Cala Deluxe, the rider who was second in the Geneva Rolex Grand Prix back at the end of last year. She had a really good run through the whole of the Rolex series of Grand Prix that she competed in 2024 as well. Another addition into the field this week after representing her team last.
Getting her giving a little cluck. She did not want to have that back rail. She's seen too many horses today have that.
She was in 35th yesterday, so may well
has
a chance of getting in qualifying there, which would be good to see.
Sure does. She's a nice, smooth, efficient rider. No extra movements. No, it's too bad.
Yeah, just carries on through that final part of the double.
Ooh, hard rub, but it stayed up.
Going to leave them on the 4 at 66.49 for Giulia. And Cala Deluxe this time around for the rider for Italy. See how busy it is out in the warm-up area. Yeah, getting a good slice across the US Open fence.
Yeah, very, very handy. Like I said, she's got a great position. She's with the motion. She's quiet on the horse, yet effective. And when you ride for Italy in the military, you can wear blue breeches, which is so much cleaner than white. Such an advantage.
I never thought I'd be discussing laundry. But
oh, there you go.
Emily Conter, second ride here for Belgium. And the Stefex tables, Onslow de Royeux for Emily. To discuss several times her big win just a few weeks ago in the Bainbridge 5-star Grand Prix, but also commenting on her brilliant performance in the Nations Cup as well. It's been another step up in her career this season here in Wellington, alongside with sister Zoe.
Yeah, these two have really made their presence known. They've been coming for a few years, and now they're something to be reckoned with.
Again, just tries to cut into that triple combination. Doesn't quite get that one.
Can't be finishing the turn as you take off to that. Must be square. See, now she's just going to have a nice organized round. No need to rush.
Coming home on 8 faults. And we'll leave it at that. 71.05 for Emily Conte, this time with Onslow Royu for her. But well done for her on a very good season here in Wellington. Of course, for some of these riders, this will be the last we'll see of them.
Yes.
Now in Wellington this year. They'll be heading back home, wherever that is around the world, or here in the United States.
Yeah. She's had, for sure, a standout season.
Christian Kukuk of Germany, the Beerbaum Stables Espoir Blanc Cristal. Gelding by Vico CC is the 11-year-old for the Olympic champion. Pre-qualified into tomorrow's Grand Prix in several ways as the Olympic champion and the defending champion.
In every way.
Yeah, it's always nice when you're multi-qualified.
It is, it is, it is. Big lanky horse, but it really gets off the ground nicely. Again, one of those rounds that it's not, you don't see exaggerated foot speed, but as he always does, he's on the inside track everywhere. He's efficient. Unfortunately, picking off the front rail of that combination. This course has had rails everywhere. Very, very well done.
And so the defending champion will go out on the 4, 64.30, but tomorrow is his big night under the spotlight with Checker. They've been Grand Prix winners already this season and looking to defend the title for that Rolex US Open Grand Prix here tomorrow night. Make sure you tune in for that. Good shot back here to the Rolex. Lorenzo De Luca. Now Lorenzo, the Italian, also looking for qualifying. Jumped to Denver de Talma yesterday. This is now next for him, Sakuma il Palazzetto.
Oh.
He's at a fence. So
yes.
Eesh.
And he took his time. He did not rush that. You can see it's just not his day. And he's giving in to this.
Yeah, unfortunately, it might be a night off tomorrow. We will, I think, from that point of view for Lorenzo, which is a shame. Deciding to retire, they know at that point not into the spot they need. Ken Farrington and his twice Grand Prix winning combination this season in Greyer. The current world number 2 may well be world number 1 by the time we get round to next month. We've got another into next week, early April. We'll see. It's going to be close between he and Henrik von Eckermann, that's been there for some, 2.5 years now.
Oh my goodness! And
look at 4 faults are better, 92%, clear round rate 81% for this. I don't expect this pair to go, and they may prove me wrong. I don't expect them to go flying round here.
No, I think he's just going to take his time and catch a few jumps.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since anyone's been that close to Hendrik for #1 spot. Kent is really having a great beginning of 2025. She looks spectacular. We see her in all these big classes and really under pressure and going fast, and it's nice to see her just cantering around without any pressure whatsoever.
Yeah, this is just really to get them stretched out and
Yep.
ready for tomorrow.
Just going to say that.
Stay-
Stretch her legs.
Yeah, just match fit. Going to be a little bit of time there as well. Total of 5:78.66. Don't worry about that too much. It's tomorrow that counts for them into the Rolex Grand Prix, part of the Rolex series. There's a total of 5 for Ken Farrington.
Yeah, it just shows how easily she jumps. I love the way she gets the jump and flattens her ears, so she's aerodynamic.
René Dittmer now, and Cody for the German rider on the 10-year-old here. Again, clear performance yesterday on Corsica that's been so consistent for him. So won a Grand Prix here in Wellington before now. He's been on the German Nations Cup team last year, winner of the Hampton Classic with Corsica as well. Oh, Cody just catching a rail there through the triple combination. Not much though.
And again, Corsica is a bigger horse. This one's so small. René's so tall. I'm always impressed with how these tall men can keep their balance and keep the horse's balance so well, making themselves light and right in the center of gravity. And you felt like just from the get-go that this was a more of a training round, practicing at these bigger heights.
Yeah, steady round 2 for René Dittmer and Cody. 76.33 finishes on a total of 7 this time for the rider from Germany. Still leaving Abdul Said as the leader so far of this Bainbridge 5-star class this afternoon. Abdel with Calvaro on 62.71. Richard Fogel in second. Keen O'Connor in third. Rodrigo Pessoa, Samuel Dahan, Connor Swale looks like it's getting closer for them, making qualifying. The same for Giacomo Casadei. Ashley Bond already in there. Luis Fernando Razabal looking to qualify, sits in 9th. 10th place 2 looking to qualify is Olivier Robert and Ganache de Rivalange. I think most of them would like to call it right now. Say that's it.
Because there's some fast riders left.
And another one looking to get in those places is Daniel Blumen on his second ride now. This has been a World Cup winning horse for Daniel. Based here and up in New York. Gemma W.
Yeah, he's definitely wanting to get into this inaugural U.S. Equestrian Open.
Former winner of 5-star Grand Prix here with Ladriano. He's won in Rome before now as well. That, of course, part of the Rolex series.
He's doing it. He's not going to win, but he's putting in a good time. He really needs to be clean.
This could be for a top 10, and that's what he needs. 64.33, Daniel Blumen looking for qualifying here. He's just going to push Olivier Robert out of the top 10. Gemma W going into 5th place now, and 10th spot with Luis Fernando Larrazabal and Condara. So that's making a few more start to sweat.
Yes. He's very happy with this girl.
And Ali's down in the warm-up as well. We're going to go and catch up with her and looking there ahead to our next. Hello, Ali.
Hey, Stephen. Yep, I'm down here with Ashley Bond, who just put in a beautifully clear round that was amazing and so fast on just a 9-year-old horse. This looks like an exciting partnership for the future. Were you happy with your round?
Yeah, super happy. Nightwish, aka Sparky. He's just coming 9. Last year here we were trying to make it around the meter 40s, had a little bit of, things to work out, and today, he won the WEF last week. He was 6th in another WEF. He's just really stepping up to kind of help Donnie, and I could not be prouder of him.
That's amazing. He looks fantastic, and we hope to see you tomorrow night, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ashley. Back to you, Stephen.
Thanks, Ali. And it is Daniel Coyle off and racing, as they would say, with Farrell. Daniel, who finished top 3 in the WEF Challenge Cup yesterday, so has no fears about getting into that Grand Prix. What he's out for is money to take him.
And he is on it. He was so quick at the beginning of this course. And this is a horse that is so quick through the air. With a very fast rider on its back. Oh, he almost oversteady, but got up to it. Nice inside corner. Oh, what a shame. He was really wanting this.
Gave it a really good try.
Yeah.
Time was really good. 62.26. Would have been quicker than Abdul Said. Well, it is quicker than Abdul Said, but it's without 0 against it.
Exactly. That was a shame. It was so well ridden, but I thought actually settled down just a little bit going into that. He'd been so prompt everywhere. That was such a shame. The horse was so good.
Yeah, was the potential new leader, but the key is also leaving them all up, and they have a fence down. So Daniel Coyle goes a little bit further down into 15th place for the Irishman. Again, giving a good challenge to Abdul Said, who's at the top of the leaderboard.
He's probably tired of watching by now.
Bliss Hears now of the USA, the Bridgeside Farms of Nevada's Farinho de Mick. Stallion by Carino for Bliss, who makes a return now to the saddle. Has been away since December last year. Now, I've seen her with such good results in this ring before now, including Nations Cup wins. Been a 5-star Grand Prix winner before now in Mexico.
Off to a nice solid start via the triple there. Getting back into the groove, back into the ring. You have to ride up a little bit there and settle down a little bit here, but she's definitely participating. She's making all the right moves.
And this is where they need to be for both, is just getting back into the groove of this.
And just being these other riders that have not had any time off or in the ring over and over and over. The timing is so fine-tuned with them.
So it is into a score of 6 in the end at 75.78 for Bliss Hears and Farinho de Mick. And down in the warm-up is one of our top 5 riders with Ali.
Hey, Stephen. Yep, I'm down here with Daniel Blumen, who just put in a speedy, quick round. So far slotted into 5th place, hoping to qualify for tomorrow night. Daniel, you looked like you went for the win. Where do you think that you could have been a little bit faster?
Yeah, Gemma is super fast. I think that there were a couple turns, maybe, turning back to the Oaks over here in the corner. I don't remember what number that is after the Liverpool. I could have maybe done one less. And I think there was definitely one less in the line in the middle. So a couple of places, but, Gemma felt so game and we were going speedy. So, I'm sure the mare is awesome.
Absolutely. And we wish you best of luck getting into tomorrow night. Hope to talk to you soon then. Back to you, Stephen.
Thank you, Ali. Yes, he's looking in a strong position so far in the top 5. Another who's looking to qualify now is Nina Malave with My Clementine, horse that she was winning with in the under-25s this season as well as up in Ocala. She put 3 wins together during that World Cup show.
Well, she's off to a great start.
Yeah, every chance here. She's got to book her place into tomorrow as well for that Rolex Grand Prix in the US Open.
And she's giving it her best. She was very quick, 1, 2, 3, 4. If she can just maintain. Square it up here. Take a chance. You can hear her clucking.
Yeah,
oh, what a
gets
rub.
it.
It bounced, but it stayed up.
She's going to be in with a chance of qualifying here. Going to be not in leading spot, but close on at 64.98. A couple of seconds off the lead there, Nina Malavey and Mike Clementine, but going into 7th now. Just into a little bit of danger zone. Puts Luis Fernando Larrazabal out of the top 10 now. And so he has to wait and see based on yesterday's results. Nina Malavey into 7th. Connor Swale also looking to qualify in 8th. Jacquemin Cassaday, same for him in 9th place. Ashley Bond is in 10th. She's already in. But there, as you see, during that double, she just had a little tap there, was just trying to bend the line. And just a little bit of luck on this side.
A little bit of luck on that side, but this was a pressure ride to give it a shot, and she really came through.
Ben Mayer now, Charlotte Roster and Pamela Wright's Dallas Vegas Patty, winner yesterday into that WEF Challenge Cup for the world number 5, the 3-time Olympic gold medalist there with Point Break that time. Now this is going to be his ride in the Grand Prix, which he sent to us yesterday as well. So in the same vein as that of Kent Farrington, this is just going to be a cruise round.
Yes. Just going to let him get in the ring, stretch his legs, get a little energy out. And when you watch somebody taking their time, the course is like a totally different dynamic. You know, what rides hard when you're going fast is not hard at all when you're just taking that little bit more time. No, he certainly looks in his usual top form, doesn't he?
Good shape. This was the horse he rode to an Olympic gold in Paris last year. It's been so close in the Grand Prix this season. He did win a Grand Prix on Ginger Blue back onto week 6 as well. So, but he would like one of the ones with a 5 next to the, next to the stars. Yeah. It is there with 3-time penalties for Ben Mayer and Dallas Vegas Batty. But say, don't be deceived. That was a round that was just really getting them nicely in the groove for the week. And yesterday was mission accomplished with Point Break, who literally was a horse that came in, flown in from the week.
He jetted in and jetted out.
Jetted out now off towards the World Cup finals.
With a nice big neck ribbon around his neck.
Yeah, back either way in business class. Connor Swale. Vanessa Mannix's 1 edition. We saw Vanessa riding a little earlier on as well. This mare by Ottongelo is the 10-year-old for the world's number 11. Connor currently in 8th place with My Lady La Vista. Like I say, I think there's a few here would like to just call it at this point.
And he's definitely one of them. He's definitely one of them.
Newer partnership together for these two. Better say Connor, who's been long-time trainer of Vanessa as well, would know this horse and all its abilities.
Oh, just ended up getting there a little bit earlier than he wanted. It's always such a difference also when you're coming into a combination and the horse can already see the oxer. You know, you can be very deep at a single vertical that rides differently when it's into a combination.
Coming home on the 4th, Connor Swale, 1 edition. Like I say, he's already just in the top 10. He's in 8th place with My Lady La Vista. And still got people like McLean Ward coming. Kent Farrington would just make you sweat a bit because they're the kind of guys that will push you out of that top 10, which you want to remain in. And saying that it goes back to the list from yesterday. So, Connor Swale just with the rail down here. Just again, just trying to edge into that triple combination tightly.
Yeah, that was too bad. Erin Ballard still has one more to come, too.
Big round for Lily Keenan and the Chaznet Farms Chili Pepper. She's had one shot with Agantha Belliard. She had that one fence down. She was close to being in that top 10. Now she's got to rely on the 10-year-old here, somewhat less experienced than her first ride, but can be fast. A little bit cautiously into this triple combination.
Oh, she was slick to the Rolex, though.
And exactly, playing it sensibly there.
Yes. Great job at that Vogel jump. She needs to keep going here. That's it, stay on it.
Yeah, got square there rather than trying to just turn down that angle. A little bit more cruising pace up this line.
Yeah, she can just keep coming, keep coming. Looking good. Oh, she flew in. Oh,
yeah.
It rubbed it, but it stayed up. Hopefully she gets over this one.
She's not going to be too far away. It is going to be 66.57. Oh, tenth. 10th spot. Oh, sweaty. Sweaty spot for Lily Keenan. Oh, are they going to stay in there? That is going to make you a little bit nervous.
Yes, this is the wait and see, bite the nails. That was a good ride. You know, she was brave where she could be and conservative where she needed to be. And a little bit of luck there out of the combination because it rubbed it.
Hangs into 10th. Oh, this is one that could probably drop them out of it. We'll see.
Drop everybody out of it.
Yeah, McLean Ward, the world number 7 with First Lady. This is where they're really at their best with Robin Parsky's horse here, the mare by Don Diorado. It's a little bit deeper in there, though.
Yeah, he did one more stride and took that back rail. This horse is such a classical jumper. Nice style.
Such a good winner for him. Won in Dinard in France last year as well, but just so solid in these classes. Okay, 4 faults today, but again, when she's clear, she can be so slick.
Yes. And she's a horse that goes fast all the time, so it's probably why he's continuing and, you know, just telling her we don't always run. That was a shame.
Leaves them on 473.94 for there for McLean Ward and First Lady this time, but Lily Keenan might be a little grateful as it leaves her in 10th place at the moment.
She's not going to say that to McLean.
No. McLean, another of those to come into a favourite for tomorrow's Rolex Grand Prix after finishing 2nd last year as well, previous winner in 2019.
Yeah, and pre-qualified from his medal at the Pan Ams, right?
Yep, on individual medals. Michael Duffy also looking to qualify this time with Cantano, the horse that he's rode yesterday. Didn't quite go to plan yesterday, so hopefully for a smoother run today. They've been on the podium previously in the Shanghai Grand Prix.
Oh, so good there, trying to get all the body parts over on that inside track.
Again, he's not wasting time between fences.
He's not the quickest horse, but Michael's being very quick. Good ride there. Oh, what a shame. Look at him, he's like, oh, seriously.
Yeah, just double checking that you've had it, because sometimes you don't always.
Well, and it's
be
really
completely sure.
It's really windy.
Yeah.
So sometimes they rub them, but when it's so windy, you can't always hear them fall.
On 8, 67-65. So it won't be into qualifying for Michael Duffy this week with Cantano 32. 8 faults today.
Not his day.
And drops the second rail at 11. Now for Erin Ballard. And Candide Chavanez. I would think she'll ride a Zaka into the Grand Prix tomorrow. The horses she's got. It's just a 9-year-old here.
But I feel like she's going to go fast in this class.
Oh, yeah. Didn't say she wasn't going to have a spin here.
All the more reason, actually.
Yeah.
You could hear give a little cluck there. It was coming up deep. It was trying to keep that energy active from the horse. Sometimes as you're slowing down, you're also giving a little cluck to keep that motor going. Sadly, had B of the triple there. So many great riders here. It's such a good experience for the younger kids, the juniors here, to be able to watch all these top riders in all these different classes. Watching what they do, how they do it.
Overall score of 8, 68-65 for Erin Ballard, and Candide Chavanez this time goes further down the field, but like I say, into the Grand Prix tomorrow. And so looking forward to seeing the Canadian Olympian into that Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. Drops a rail into the triple combination there.
That combination is taking its toll. Right at the end there, coming in hot.
Ken Farrington now is second ride. This time the French-bred mare Grand de Mars. The world number 2 now for the 9-year-old here. Already round with his Grand Prix ride with Greyer.
Oh, good shot there. It was just wide enough that he could keep up the foot speed. Same ride there. Really looking good. See how much you can take a shot here.
Yeah, 62.71 leading time, but he's going to take a shot off there that drops a pole.
Yeah, and then he's slowing way down. Boy, he was really on it. Yeah, that was too bad.
63.27, and even with that score, it would have gone into second place. It would have probably just pushed it a little bit more had they been on the clear. It does say clear, though. It does have the 4. Ken Farrington, Grand de Mars. I think, yes, he could have had a real shot of going into the lead there.
Yep. Yeah, this combination really, really took its toll.
And again, it's because it's a combination that you can't hurry too much. You want to bend it, but
yeah, and you also can't just be flying in and giving them space because B will call you out. Oh, he was so quick to the Rolex.
Sami Eldahan already in qualifying position in 6th place now. Bearing in mind, I think we've only got about 4 left to go, so he would be in that group for qualifying based on that. Safe up at the top, the likes of Keane O'Connor, Abdul Said in their qualifying now. Daniel Blumen, you would think, should be as well. Sami and Oscar A this time. The horse is ridden through some of the big Grand Prix, including in Spruce Meadows in the Grand Slam. Grand Prix that he's won in his career.
Again, another workmanlike horse. Not flashy, not spicy, but just exactly what it needs to do over the jumps. Steady and true.
Yeah. He's got his qualifying place.
Yes.
This will be his Grand Prix ride, I would imagine, as well. So he's going to be just there on the 477.98. Just the one down there for Sami Eldahan, but into qualifying with Amémoire a little earlier on. So I think just 2 left on the list now with Darragh Kenny and Olivier Robert. So the two to still have a little bit to get warm about are Giacomo Cassadai and Lily Keenan in 8th and 9th right now, or rather 9th and 10th right now. 8th place is Connor Swale, so it means the world number 11 will get into the Grand Prix.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it becomes math and
yes,
process of elimination.
Darragh Kenny and Amsterdam. Pair that have won the 5-star Grand Prix in Wellington here before now. And again, a horse he hasn't used much this season at all.
Yeah, he's really
just kept the powder dry with Amsterdam.
Yeah, tried and true with this lovely horse.
Again, he's just going to go for a round that's well within their abilities. Not to say it's going to be slow. He's got some nice turns in here, but not going to really
but it's
push
nice.
the limits.
Yeah, it's nice to see him rolling along.
Now, Lily Keenan's time is 66.57, because I'm looking at the other end of the scale here of where this might fit. But the leading time's 62.71. I think he's going to push her out. It's going to be 64.94, and Darragh Kenny going into the top 10 goes into 7th place there. So 10th place now, Giacomo Cassadai and Marbella du Chablis.
Oh,
so Darragh
that
Kenny
so nice.
in Amsterdam.
Yeah, it was just a beautiful round that was just efficient with a little bit of flow. That's how you do it.
And so final rider also looking for qualifying is Olivier Robert. His first ride now going into 14th place. This is his Grand Prix ride in Iglesias. And might as well take a shot at this. 10th place right now, Giacomo Cassadai on 65.47.
It'll interesting to see what his strategy is going to be. Yeah, I mean, right on the mark so far. The fastest away from the jump, but he's keeping the track very small.
drifts a little there, but...
Ooh, lucky there.
Not flat.
Yeah, it was his hind end barely elevated. I don't know how it didn't come down.
This is going to have a strong chance of qualifying if he just keeps cruising to the last. He's not looking at the winning time, he's looking for a qualifying time, and it's going to be 65.99. Oh, 11th. Oh, 11th.
Look at him.
11th. Oh, for Olivier Robert and Iglesias TV, 1 spot away from the top 10 in the end, and by half a second he goes into 11th. Giacomo Casadei then of Italy puts himself into qualifying with Marbella du Chablis. So the winner is Abdul Said and Calvaro on this afternoon's class. Here, look at this one, Kim. I mean, it was a good cruise around, but it was just a little too much of a cruise.
Oh, yeah. I mean, lucky at this jump. It was so late getting his hind end up. Yeah, he needed just a bit more flow. I think he's going to really not like that round as he looks back.
So final combination completing there in this afternoon's Bainbridge $62,500 class, a win for Abdul Said and Calvaro. He does very decisively put himself into qualifying for tomorrow's Rolex US Open Grand Prix. Richard Vogel finishing in second. He was already in with Levi Nosar. Keane O'Connor puts himself in qualifying too with Canbella Blue PS. Rodrigo Pessoa, the leader, top 4. Daniel Blumen also picks up his ticket for tomorrow night too with Gemma W, as does Sami Al-Dahan of Great Britain and WKD Amemoir. Dara Kenny solid in both yesterday and today with Amsterdam this time, though into 7th. Nina Malavey now into qualifying for tomorrow for the young French rider with Mai Clementine, as is the world number 11 Connor Swale, My Lady La Vista, and the 22-year-old from Italy, Giacomo Casadei. Marbella du Chablis will also go into qualifying outside in 11th and 12th. Olivier Robert, the final one to go there. Lily Keenan. Ashley Bond finishes in 13th overall. Olivier Robert again, top 2 in the top 15, but agonisingly not into the right spots they need. Vanessa Malik, solid round with Carmela Zed. Pier Giorgio Bucci, we'll see him tomorrow as well for Italy with Garfield de Losens in our top 20. Coming well out of yesterday's class. And Ben Mayer, 3 titles with his Olympic ride and Grand Prix ride, Dallas Vegas Batty. Nothing to sweat about there. Ken Farrington had a good shot of the lead with Guy Damas, but a fence down for him. Christian Kukuk, Espoir Blanc Cristal. He will be defending his title tomorrow night here in that Rolex Grand Prix on the 4 this time, but it's going to be back with that of Checker. And it is further down for the 4 faults for Nicola Philippart, Elena Haas, Emily Conter into the top 30. And it is then down to Connor Swale, 1 addition. And McLean Ward with First Lady was eventually just with the 4 faults. Daniel Bloom in his earlier ride on 1 time fault plus there. And on top of the 4 into 36th position. Those further down the order. And it is then on down to Ken Farrington, Alex Volpe, Bliss Hears, Rene Dittmer, Keane O'Connor, Michael Duffy, down to the final shake-up there. Presentation coming up here for those in our Bainbridge sponsor class. Thank you to Richard and Jennifer Schechter. Richard, who's been sponsoring here throughout the Winter Equestrian Festival, including the 5-star Bainbridge Grand Prix just a few weeks ago. Wonderful to have such solid supporters of the sport. And so Richard Schechter there of Bainbridge trying to present, gives a little congratulations to Abdel. And so from our qualifying two from yesterday sees Carly Anthony, Spencer Smith and Ashley Bond, it looks like, into the Grand Prix tomorrow as well. Then there's some bigger names just missing out there too. Abdul Said was further down yesterday, but puts himself in qualifying today. Kim, this is another look back at that round.
It was just gorgeous, so well executed. Horse jumped impeccably. As we know, Abdel can always pull it through when he needs to, but I loved his attitude going in. You could tell right away. Took such a shot at that orange oxer. Brilliant through the last combination. Just so well done. Congratulations.
And so coming up to the national anthem of our winning rider here this afternoon for Abdel Said of Belgium. Well, congratulations to Abdel Said and to Calvaro booking their place into tomorrow's Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. Looking forward to that. And it is already made for a good cliffhanger today, Kim, for those in qualifying and out. There's going to be a couple of the bigger names on the sidelines tomorrow as well. They're going to be ruining maybe the odd second here or there.
Yeah, it was exciting. I love this class anyway, but when it's the final week and an important series like this, it's just such a fun day.
And heading on out, Abdel Said on winner's day for Belgium with Calvaro. Good luck to them tomorrow in the Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. That's going to be with us, as I say, tomorrow too, across all the platforms and ESPN. And that's going to be pre-show getting underway at 7, with the first horses coming after 8 o'clock. On to Saturday night as well to see who lifts the trophy in this historic class here at Wellington International. So as the press move in for all the interviews and photos and finale for this class, the Bainbridge Company's 150 Classic, we get ready to wrap things up here from Wellington this afternoon. And what a lovely afternoon it's been out in the Florida sunshine. So readying for tomorrow. Kim, we're looking forward to that.
I can't wait. I don't even want to leave now. It's going to be a great class. I believe you should start tuning in about 7:40.
Yeah, it's going to be a big night. As I say, we've got the previews from 7 o'clock tomorrow night as well to run into the class as well. So lots to look forward to there. And we'll bring you a highlights program following that as well. So it is going to be wall-to-wall coverage of tomorrow's Rolex Grand Prix as well. But here a little of Abdel Said in what was his winning round as they clear the last, hurdle the last, and racing for the line there without too much trouble at all for Abdel as the winning rider of today's big class, $62,500 Bainbridge. And we're just going to catch up with Abdel in a second as well as our winning rider. He's just heading over. I can see him just heading over down the path there, ready for the interview. It's going to be catching up with Ali Wolf as well. Now, with having caught up with him earlier on, now he's sealed the success for the class here this afternoon. And very well done to him. And then off to the usual press commitments after that as well.
There's a lot of congratulating along this path.
And getting set to catch up with Abdel Said, a winner, and importantly into qualifying for tomorrow's Rolex Grand Prix. Congratulations to him. And Ali's down with him. Hello, Ali.
Hey, Stephen. Yes, you heard it right. I'm down here with Abdel Said, the winner of the Bainbridge meter 50. Wow, what a win. That was incredible. You went so early and held the lead. When we talked previously about 2 hours ago, you were even nervous about qualifying. So in a word, I guess, my question, are you relieved?
Extremely relieved and delighted with my horse. I think he's an incredible horse. I think really a lot of him, and he really steps up in moments of pressure. Like today, I took a lot of risk. I knew I took a lot of risk. We did 8 into the triple, and it was like zigzagging through. And for the experience he has, he tries so hard. So I'm super happy that we won and super happy that we qualified.
Absolutely, as you should be. Now, of course, this is not only just the finale down here, but also part of the Rolex series. As you can tell, the U.S. Equestrian Open. What are you most looking forward to in competing in tomorrow night's class?
Look, like I said before, I love competing here in the U.S., especially here in Wellington. I think with this new concept of the U.S. Open this year, I think it's incredible, and I'm very excited, motivated, and also to get a win this week, what means more to me personally. But obviously tomorrow, a podium finish would make me very happy. So I hope that I see you tomorrow.
We hope to see you there as well. And we've seen you in and out of this competition, in and out of Wellington and Florida and the U.S. actually. You're a jet setter. So what made you want to come back for this final week?
Again, I think it's one of the best events in the world. You know, I run we run as a team quite a big operation. It's not just about sport for me, so I had to travel all over the world a little bit, produce our horses from young on, that's the reason. But to come and compete here for top sport, I think there's not many better places.
Absolutely, as we have at least 6 of the top 10 riders in the world. Again, congratulations, Abdel. We hope to see you again tomorrow night, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Back to you, Stephen.
Ali, and what they'll start to learn, Ali, is if you're interviewing them, that means they've had a good day at the office. So always be pleased to see Ali Wolf down in the warm-up there, and we are already salivating at what's to come tomorrow. It is going to be a massive night of competition, like I say, pre-game coming to you from around 7 tomorrow as well, and just after 8 o'clock getting into our first horse on course into tomorrow night's Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. Some of the big players out today. They were certainly out in force yesterday. We've given you all the tantalizers of what to expect, but it is going to be the best of the best. 6 of the world's top 10 competing here, and it looks as though we've got a large chunk of the world's top 20 in there. It looks like 10 of the world's top 20 competing tomorrow night as well. So for Kim Prince and myself, Steve Wild, saying so long for now from Wellington National, where Abdul Saeed is the winner of today's $62,500 Bainbridge Company's 5-star 150 Classic. A fabulous afternoon of sport, and all sport on ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on ESP app.